into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Whatever you're doing, stop. Just take a moment, take a deep breath, breathe it in. It's a brand new day. Welcome to it. Good morning. My name is Graham Richards.
My name is Jamie Lee Domberg, reporting live for duty on this Thursday morning. And this morning is going to be a very special one.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. Obviously, we are focusing on World Cancer Day, and we are going to chat to an incredible woman, a cancer survivor, Miriam Yakut Harris, who also shares her story of conquering the disease by changing her lifestyle. Yes, it can be done. She then joins us in the kitchen to whip up 2 delicious meals and a moon-boosting yellowtail ceviche, which sounds fresh and beautiful and popping with flavor, for a healthy, sweet treat as well. Then we've got poached pears and fig breakfast bowl. That's quite good.
Yeah, very, very fancy.
Well,
Our palates are going to be going on a journey this morning, and looking forward to that. And all the health talk that we have. Of course, Grant Hines is also here to let us know everything about tech, what we need to get our hands on, what apps we need to get our hands on. So do stay connected with us, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. It's going to be a good one, like you said.
It's going to be an inspirational one, I think.
Breathe in, let it all simmer with you, but connect with us, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. But right now, let's connect with the rest of the team. Good morning, beautiful human beings.
Gang.
We got you.
We've got you, Mzansi. A very good morning to you. Ndiyathemba namhlanje nivuke ni right, ni ready, ni relevant. It's a beautiful Klein Vrydag. Igama lam nguKuhle Adams.
And I'm Raul de Monet, and thank you, of course, for joining us on this beautiful Thursday as we kickstart all the magic. And of course, this morning we're chatting to Mzansi as we always do.
Yes.
It's World Cancer Day, Kuhle.
Truly.
Big day. Lots of people have come through so much when it comes to the cancer situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're chatting to everybody on social media this morning and finding out if you have a hero that has dealt with cancer or a cancer survivor that you may know of that beat the disease.
Yeah.
Share your inspiring story with us and use that hashtag Expresso Show. Kuhle, you got any crazy stories?
No, I don't have any stories. However, I am aware that it's also a pandemic on its own.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people in South Africa who are dealing with it, but I know for a fact that there are even more people who have beat it and have inspiring stories. This morning, we are putting it out to you to please share your inspiring story so that everyone else who may be dealing with it or knows someone who is dealing with it can draw inspiration to take it and continue the fight, to continue to push, you know. I mean, we're dealing with COVID now and we overlook so many other challenges in terms of health that people are faced with, and this is the time to highlight World Cancer Day. So keep in touch with us on our social media platforms, Expresso Show.
Yeah, that's of course the way we will be chatting to you all right throughout the day and engaging with you on our social media and maybe even giving you a call too. But before we get to it, of course, we're going to round up and start off the day with the news. Let's check in with G.
Thanks so much, team. Let's start with the major focal point at the moment, understandably, vaccines. Here in South Africa, healthcare workers in South Africa have been urged to register for their COVID-19 vaccines via an online platform, which was officially launched by the government yesterday. Phase 1 of the vaccination program targets 1.25 million healthcare workers. To date, the focus had been on clinical workers at high-volume institutions, but the government is now urging traditional healers, medical students, security personnel and porters in hospitals to register as well. The electronic vaccination data system is intended to monitor supplies and then ensure that local vaccination sites are adequately equipped to meet the demand. The astronomical growth in the prices of garlic and ginger has prompted the National Consumer Commission to launch an investigation into various suppliers of the 2 food products. This as consumers are sharing images of the price of ginger, for instance, as high as 400 Rand per kilo. Suppliers found guilty of excessive pricing can be fined up to 1 million Rand. The demand for garlic and ginger shot up since claims that they could obviously help with COVID-19 symptoms and boosting the immune system, even though the World Health Organization said there was no evidence to this effect. And on the international front, Nigeria's Kaduna state has signed a deal with medical delivery firm Zipline that will allow drone shipment of COVID-19 vaccines without significant state investment in cold chain storage, the company said yesterday. Kaduna's partnership with the company, which delivered more than 1 million doses of other vaccines in Africa over the past year, will also enable on-demand delivery of blood products, medications and other vaccines. Zipline currently also operates in Ghana and Rwanda. Then results that show the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine might reduce the spread of coronavirus have been hailed as absolutely superb by the UK's Health Secretary. So Matt Hancock said the study shows vaccines are the way out of this pandemic. The UK has so far given a first COVID jab to more than 10 million of its residents. And the results of the study, which have not yet been formally published, suggest that the vaccine may have a substantial effect on transmission of the virus. And now some good news regarding the picture that shocked the nation. Hats off to the Owl Rescue Centre at Hartbeespoort in Northwest Province for speedily rescuing the hardy-dar spotted in Greenside, Johannesburg with an arrow stuck in its body. Now, disturbing pictures of the injured bird, now known as Arrow the hardy-dar, on social media upset many South Africans, understandably, who collectively voiced their outrage at the dastardly deed of harming wildlife in such a cruel manner. Fortunately, within a single day, the Owl Rescue Centre at Harties were on average, I think some 1,000 owls are taken in there annually to be cared for. They had located the bird and organized a trap. Then just 4 days later, Arrow was cornered and immediately received the necessary veterinary attention. The centre will now render effective care before releasing him to continue singing the song of the people. Now, hardy-dars have notoriously been called South Africa's alarm clocks, who are not aware of their loud 3 to 4 note call uttered in flight, especially very early in the mornings. Incidentally, the hardy-dar is a protected bird here in South Africa, and anyone caught injuring or killing one faces a very stiff fine. That's where we leave our news for now. Let's delve into our sporting highlights from yesterday. Yesterday, Cricket South Africa were able to congratulate the Proteas women for winning their 2020 international series against Pakistan's ladies at Kingsmead Stadium in Durban. South Africa won their series 2-1 after Pakistan did earn a consolation victory in that final T20 match yesterday. Pakistan's captain, Javera Khan, who missed the first 2 games due to a finger injury, smashed 56 from 50 deliveries to guide her team to an 8-run victory based on the Duckworth-Lewis method. On to football. Reigning Nedbank Cup champions and PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns, they edged out Stellenbosch FC in a thriller 3-2 in extra time at Loftus Versfeld to book their spot in the last 16 of the competition. Namibian international Peter Shalulile scoring the winner in the 117th minute of the match. Now the results: Polokwane City beat Steenberg United 2-0 in Limpopo in the earlier encounter. And there'll be 2 Nedbank Cup fixtures today as Bizana Pondo Chiefs face Cape Town All-Stars at 3 p.m. and then TTM, they take on SuperSport United at 5 p.m. Then in the English Premier League last night, another shock. The lone goal by Steven Alzate, he helped Brighton record a 1-0 win over defending champions Liverpool at Anfield. So the result leaves Liverpool now 7 points behind log leaders Manchester City, who beat Burnley 2-0 at Turf Moor in the earlier fixture yesterday. Goals by Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling confirming now a 13th successive win for the table-topping citizens. Leicester City moved up to 3rd place on the standings after beating Fulham 2-0 at Craven Cottage. There'll be one Premier League fixture tonight, and it's a London derby. Tottenham Hotspur facing Chelsea, that one kicking off at 10 p.m. That's where we leave our sport for now as well. Let's join Putle to get the latest on the weather and take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise photos.
Thank you so much, G, for the news and sports updates. It's time for us to see your stunning sunrise photos wherever you may be from in the country. We start off the morning with Verity Barnes Herbert, who sent us this bright and contrasting sunrise from Riebeek West. Do expect plenty of sunshine today with a maximum of 34 degrees. We now head over to Johannesburg, when Dogozo Theo Makatini sent us the blue morning skyline. The rain continues in parts of the province with 42% chance of thunder showers and a maximum of only 21 degrees expected in Johannesburg. Please continue sharing your sunrise photos with us. You can do so by just simply taking a picture of your sunrise in your part of the country and post it on our Expresso Facebook page. We would love to show it live on the show. Now on to international weather news, with scientists detecting an increasing stronger link between the planet's warming and extreme weather patterns, hotter heat waves, drier droughts, larger storm surges, greater snowfalls, and more severe cold spells. The north of China is the latest country to be on the receiving end. As a result of the new severe cold snap being experienced in northeast China since Monday, sea ice has kept rising amid seawater freezing in the Liaodong Bay of the Bohai Sea. The frozen area exceeds 10,000 square kilometers, and with the edge of seawater freezing extending by as far as some 110 kilometers. To ensure the safety of small boats, they have been instructed to follow the large ships. Icebreakers will also be on hand 24 hours a day and help clear transport routes to ensure the movement of key livelihood supplies. We bring it back home with today's temperatures, starting off at Polokwane with a low of 20 degrees, reaching a high of 27 degrees. Bombela do expect some thunder showers at 42% chance of rain forecast for your part of the country. The rain continues down to Pretoria with 54% chance of rain, and Johannesburg do expect some wet conditions with 42% chance of thunder showers. Mahikeng is also a wet one for you. 18 is your low, reaching a high of 25. And Klerksdorp, your maximum is 24 from a low of 18 degrees. Kimberley, 19, 27. Bloemfontein, it's a rainy one for you with temperatures ranging from 15 reaching a high of 24 degrees. It's a cloudy day in Richards Bay, 23, 32 are your temperatures. Pietermaritzburg, your maximum is 29 degrees with 25% chance of rain. Durban, it's a mostly sunny day with a maximum of 29 degrees. Mthatha, 18, 29 with 42% chance of thunder showers. It's a rainy day in East London with 62% chance of rain forecast. Craddock, you kick off the morning with a low of 17, reaching a high of 34 degrees. Port Elizabeth, it's a partly cloudy day, 19, 25. George, it's a mostly cloudy day with a maximum of 24 degrees. Cape Town, 1823, Worcester, 1434, and Sutherland, it's a sunny one for you with a maximum of 29. Uppington coming through with a maximum temperature across the country, 36 degrees this Thursday morning. Now, this was the first look at your stunning sunrise pictures and the weather forecast for the day. We'll have another look shortly after the top of the hour. Remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Thank you so much, Kuhle. Now, Jamie, I need help. I'm stressing.
You always need help. What do you need help with today?
So, it's that special someone day. What do they call that day? That V-Day thing?
Valentine's Day.
It's
You
coming
can
up.
say it. You can say it. It's okay.
It's coming up. I'm stressing, and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to get, and I need help. I need it. What do I do?
Listen, you follow along with us, okay? You follow along with us. Maybe you're struggling as well to get a Valentine's Day gift like Ral, a V-Day gift. We're saying it out loud. It's a Valentine's Day. It's coming. It's around the corner. Now, we have a surprise for you, our loved ones. This Feel Good Thursday, you stand the chance of winning a 500 Rand Woolworths gift card. Now, all you need to do is reply to the competition post on our Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page and share a message of appreciation for someone special who deserves a surprise this Valentine's Day. Ral, it is that simple.
Okay, I got you right. So, guys, don't forget, of course, to use the hashtag Guess Who in your answers. And the competition closes at 9 o'clock this morning. So hurry up, and your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com, and catch us later as we gift our fellow presenters chocolates courtesy of Woolies. Now, it's time for me to get shopping. Let's get in.
Yeah, and say the word Valentine.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still locked in. It's your feel-good breakfast show. Of course, now renowned South African drummer and Ooth frontman Jason Oosthuizen started playing drums at the age of 4, and has since then he's gone on to play in some of the best bands in the country. Now, last month, the local rock band Ooth released their latest album, a 9-track offering that was somewhat of a passion project for Jason. And now the track Your Lies is the first single and video taken off the new album Nothing's Gonna Change. Now, that's from Johannesburg-based hard rock unit. Now, let's take a look at this. Never, man. That's how you get your day started. Jason, man, it's an absolute pleasure having you in the studio. I'm loving the energy coming through here. I got to just say, firstly, 2 things. Number one, we're asking him, what is he doing in Cape Town? And he's like, I just came through for a drink, casual.
Casual vibes.
Based in Joburg. But I believe the last time you were actually in the studio, you jawled and jammed so hard that we actually got shut down by the cops. I don't know if you remember that back in the day.
I do. It was in the Sea Point studio, and there were people on balconies in white gowns, and things were getting out of hand there.
Okay. Just another day for you guys, though, right?
A normal day, yeah.
No, this is a safe space, okay? We're going to see what you guys are truly made of without any hesitations.
So the pressure's on.
100%,
Okay,
actually.
cool.
We're going to start off by your latest offering. Tell us more about it, the new album. What can we expect from it?
So obviously in lockdown, none of us could work. And then I just thought, well, I'll take the time to write the album. And then I recorded it, and then I was like, okay, cool. Now we can't tour in December either, so let's release it.
Oh.
And then, so it came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I think we've been quite lucky. We've been featured in about 12 countries, which is pretty cool. Pretty unusual for us being a smaller band, you know? And so we're going with it.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I told my mom this morning the band's going to make it. She's just got to hang 10. And she was like, cool. So we're all good.
But look, man, you mention it and you speak of it so casual. You're like, yeah, I just thought I'd just write a casual album. But that's not easy. I mean, you've got lockdown restrictions. We've got all these regulations. How do you go through all these obstacles? I mean, considering you've never done something like this before, how was the process writing this album?
I mean, when you're not gigging, it takes a lot of time off your day because there's no sound checks, there's no bookings, there's no managing, there's no planning.
Yeah.
So you're just left with a lot of time. And I think then you can either choose to chill it out on the couch and play PlayStation, or you can do something. And then I decided to just, go sit in the room and jam. And it came very naturally. It wasn't too hectic. So pretty cool.
In that period of conceptualizing new songs and writing new music, I'm pretty sure you've fallen in love with at least, I'm sure all of them actually, but there's one favorite. Which one is your favorite song out of the album and why?
I don't actually know. I think that song that you guys played now, Your Lies, I think that's pretty cool. But it's just like a heavy, straightforward rock and roll tune. So that's cool, you put on in the morning and it can just, okay, I'm awake now, I'm ready for work. But there's also that song, Loving You, which we're going to perform on the show, which is a cool one. It's got, nice meaning behind it, cool lyrics. Well, I think it's cool. And
I'm sure it's cool actually because also it's the month of love. So is it a love song?
That is true. I should probably take my wedding ring off then.
No. Please don't.
You didn't say that. So listen, you're talking about cool lyrics, and if I look back at some of your previous performances and some songs like Stand Up and the album Who Cares About What You Think, a lot of it seems to be raising awareness for important issues that happen in the country. You're talking about GBV, gender-based violence.
Yes, yeah.
You're talking about the farm killings. Is that, firstly, kudos to that, because I love how you can use your talents for something bigger. And is that something we could possibly be expecting this album coming up? Anything more related to pertinent topics like that?
I mean, yeah, I just think there's so many of us in this country that just want to move forward. We don't want to, dwell on nonsense. We just want to be happy and move forward. And then there's a small group that's kind of holding us all back. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to sing about, hey, let's all move forward here, We don't really have time. We're only here for a couple of years, so let's make the best of the times, Yeah. So, yeah.
That's true, man. We do need to get into the spirit of Umuntu. It doesn't matter who you are and where you are from. It's a matter of we are going through this global pandemic together. We need to fight all the GBV rates down. And who else to have a better voice than the men themselves? So shout outs to you for using your voice and your platform to kind of raise awareness.
Yeah, we did a pretty cool show for them for gender-based violence and farm murders. And we were quite lucky. We managed to raise over R250,000 for them.
Wow.
Which was really cool, and had I known that, I probably would have put myself into that split of 50-50 for the two causes, but it's all for the good cause, and it was cool, like I remember when we were talking to the GBV lady, she was like, we're really running low on funds, and then I said to her, cool, well, we're going to do this thing, and I can't guarantee you anything, but if I can be 2 or 3 grand, then bonus. And then I phoned her back, I'm like, so, actually, there's 100 and something thousand coming to you.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she was really happy. But it's cool to see that happen,
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Oosthuizen, and of course, Uth frontman, and he will be performing with the rest of the band later. And I can't thank you enough for chatting to us this morning, man, and using your voice for something so important. But
thanks.
I think it's time for the magic, so we'll be catching up with him soon.
For
you guys do not want to go anywhere. Stick around, because the magic is waiting.
Oh, so good to be able to connect with him. Because let's be honest, guys, all you need is music, love, and a great cup of coffee. And what makes this cuppa even more delicious is knowing that sustainability is at the top of Nespresso's priority list. They already have done so much to ensure that every cup of coffee that you and I drink is sustainable. Now, Nature Boy, Ryle Demona, even showed us how easy it is to recycle with used capsules.
The Nespresso machine has become a part of our daily routine here in the studio. And another thing that's become a part of our routine is recycling used capsules. And of course, me being Nature Boy, I'm always the one to do it, but it's really so simple. So I don't actually mind. All you got to do is pop your used capsules into the recycling bin, and then of course, straight after that, drop it off at your nearest boutique or branch. When you get to the store, you can drop your used capsules into the capsule recycling bin. And of course, don't forget to grab yourself a free recycling bag. And seeing that I'm a member of the Nespresso Club, I'm gonna go enjoy some coffee. Sustainability is a big deal to Nespresso and something that is close to their hearts. And that's why making those coffee capsules so easy to recycle makes you part of the efforts to create a coffee experience that is sustainable from farm to cup.
I was wondering why Ryle had to get changed like 5 times to that insert, man. Looking good, boy, looking good. No, absolutely love the fact that they've made it so easy. The fact that when you are ordering your new pods, in fact, they can even come and pick up your old pods, your recycled capsules as well. And what many people don't know is that all new capsules from Nespresso are made from 80% of the recycled aluminium. It even says recycle me, if you can see on the bottom of the capsule there. So make sure that you do it. It's absolutely crazy not to when they've made it this easy. Just a couple of things that jumped off the page for me with regards to Nespresso, because it's one thing preaching the idea of sustainability, but then that's got to permeate through your entire organization. It's not just about recycling the capsules. Even the machines themselves, they're built to last 7.5 3,500 cups of coffee. That's a lot of coffee, even for me. But it means that those machine parts, that machine itself, is going to stay in operation for a long time, which is great. The factories are 100% sustainable in terms of their energy usage. And along the way, planting 2.83 million trees in areas that they operate in Colombia, Ethiopia, Guatemala, areas obviously where they source a lot of their coffee from. So their carbon footprint is insane already, but the plan is to become 100% carbon neutral by 2022. That's next year. So that needs to be applauded. I absolutely love that. And the coffee tastes really amazing, which helps. Incidentally, we're going with I'm still so proud of the Cape Town. I haven't stopped drinking the Cape Town Lungo because the fact that we've got our own variation on Nespresso's World
really
Explorations Lungo
really
range is just amazing to me. So cheers to you and cheers to Nespresso, man.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Molweni nonke kubanyaqala usijoyina namhlanje. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3. We're all about looking pretty, but also about a healthy lifestyle. It's truly important for everyone. When we look after our health, we feel better too. Woody's is making working out and working from home even more comfortable with their new lightweight and breathable athleisure wear. Here to take us through the latest collection from Woolworths is our fashion and beauty editor, Knox Mafu.
Hello.
Knox, first and foremost, you look so comfortable.
Thank you. I feel really good. I won't lie. Like, if I could really come to the office all the time like this, I would love to do so. I'm enjoying the colors, the feel. It's a good time.
Very vibrant. It's also a very soft touch. But before we get into the specifics, athleisure. For some people, it's the first time they're hearing of the term.
Yes.
It's been on and on and on, going on for many years. Why do you think that people prefer this kind of sense of style?
I think, you know, the world has actually moved very drastically over the last year, and comfort is the most important thing to fashion. So I think as we're getting healthier, you're finding that, you know, you've been running around in your gym clothes for a very long time. But now, you know, fashion has kind of listened to the commands of the people, and now we're trying to wear more comfortable clothes, things that you can exercise in, lightweight exercise, but also move around. And what I enjoy about athleisure, because we're spending so much time at home, you really can wear it to meetings. So kind of the stiff office wear is relaxing a lot because we're from home. And so items like this are so versatile, but also functional for lightweight exercise, which is what I love about it too.
It's very versatile. It's a queen that has range.
Range. I love some range, you know.
I love me some range as well. Last week, you took us through performance leggings, tops. What is the difference difference between that and the specific range athleisure wear?
Well, the beautiful thing is that both of these elements really come together in good harmony. You know, you could go from a good, tough little exercise that you did with Pilates and then want to wear something comfortable like this. So what we're seeing coming through this kind of season is really kind of the pastel colors, right? So we've got those viscose blends, those earth-friendly cottons. And what I love about these items is that there's also kind of a great technology that they've added where moisture is retained really quickly. So if you exercise, you break a sweat, this is something that's going to dry up quickly. It's lightweight and functional. I'm really loving the design of this.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Right, and it's the material for me, right?
Yeah.
And I really love the kind of the blend that they've used here. We've got really good earth-friendly materials, and which Woolworths is always kind of championing, taking care of the environment. And then if you want to match them up, because you know, a two-piece is always great. You know,
Two-piece, you can never go wrong. Okay?
Yes. So if you want to kind of match it up with a zipped hoodie over here, and then you've got your lovely sweats over here, it's a great way to pair it together. I would also put some performance kind of items underneath, so that interchangeability between chilling, working out is so great. I mean, if we come closer to you, Kuhle, there's these amazing kind of printed tees. We've got the sleeveless ones over here, and then we've also got, of course, a bit of a sleeve going here. But the focus, I think, for Woolworths has been really to make sure that activewear is comfortable, it's lightweight, breathable, and then, of course, the technology to help you kind of stay in the clothes. They keep their attention, which is so important when you're on the move.
And it seems like they have everything for everyone, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. I'm pretty sure people are planning some things, but we are still encouraged to be staying at home and keeping safe. So would you suggest this range for a cute little movie night indoors with your partner or even your friends?
Absolutely. Kuhle, you know, the idea of the fact that we need to be wearing long dresses and stuff, our world is very different. So how can you make yourself feel vibrant, sexy, and playful? And I think these are great items to do so. I mean, if I even just do my own outfit, I really enjoy kind of the pinks that are here, the white, the leggings are super comfortable. So for me, if I'm at home, pair it with some earrings, chill with Bae, and everything is comfortable. So really the interchangeability is really easy, but there's so many ways to style these things, but really a great range for Valentine's Day and with the girls.
Now, outside of you rocking this athleisure wear, I know Jamie Lee is also on the sidelines about to show us how you would style athleisure wear.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely.
Is Jamie in the building?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, darling.
I love this.
You
No,
look great. You
it
look-
is everything.
You look
I'm going to stand
great.
here in the middle so that
Yes.
you guys can all see.
Perfect.
How are
at
you
you.
feeling?
It's the,
You look just like
you know when I
release.
can't say anything.
Yeah.
It's that. It looks
Yeah.
so cute. It doesn't even look like I'm going to work out, but it
Yes.
also motivates you to want to work. Because you know that
Exactly.
once you look good, you feel like I'm ready to break
To
out
do
of sweat.
it.
But it also just the material again.
Good.
Love the fit of it.
Good.
And it is comfortable. I can wear this to gym,
Yes.
to work, have a drink, like you
Exactly.
said, chilling
You
with
can
Bae,
do-
whatever you want to do.
Yeah. What I love here, what you've done also is, you know, you've chosen to kind of do that French tuck over here.
Yeah.
So really like a playful, stylish element to it. She's paired that obviously with a performance bra underneath, so when she's ready to get into it, she can. But the range of this outfit is what I love, and kind of the lightweight elements on the top are so great.
This is stunning. The color as well. You guys are giving me nothing but beautiful range. Thank you so much, Knox, for coming through and just showing us the inside of what to expect with the range from Woolies.
run.
Jamie, I know that
run.
you
I'm going
are
to work out.
about to just give us a young workout performance there with Ryle. This was fantastic.
I'm
eh?
so glad, and the ease of that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
To be able to kind of step into a workout is exactly the function of this range. So I'm so excited for that.
Thank you so much for coming through. Now, bolster your basics with items from Woolworths' new athleisure collection. It's made with earth-friendly, breathable cotton and built-in stretch to ensure that you move in comfort. Shop the athleisure collection at Woolworths, in-store, online, and on the Woolies app.
Jamie Lee Domvin looking
Hey
good.
there, everybody.
How you feeling in the new look though?
That's all I needed. When I look like I'm going to work out, That's what I need. So now I feel like I can ace any workout just because I look
You're like everyone
I'm
on
ready
the
to it.
1st of Jan, just look the part and you already lose weight. I love it. So let's do the next step and put the work in, of course. So now that we've obviously got our attire sorted, it's time to get our bodies to work in this epic band workout. So you can get off the couch and join myself and Jamie for a quick morning routine that you're going to absolutely love. And one thing that I've found to be a big highlight for this year, especially a lot of my clients, people are requesting them glutes. They want to look good in tights this year. They want to look good. And I think the fact that we're working glutes not only has an aesthetic benefit, but it also has a functional benefit. So as an athlete, as a runner, as anybody doing sport, just standing in general, your glutes are so important. And we're going to work on those today, especially
as a
the
human
ones...
being.
Yes, just to be a person. Okay, so we're going to have some fun. I've got 3 exercises with grading as well, Jamie. And we're going to start off by putting these loop bands in between, or around our feet to start off with. And we're going to go for a slight hinge in the legs, all right? So get the glutes to just drive slightly further back. You don't have your knees over your toes. And we're simply taking 2 steps to the right, 2 steps to the left, all right? So what we're doing is shuffling nice and low. Take a step to the right, 1 step and another one. And now we'll go back to the left. There we go. All right, so what we're working is that a small little muscle. It's a tight one just on the side of the leg. And what you want to do is keep that slightly squatted position in this movement, and you're going to feel those glutes accentuating. How's it feeling over there on that side?
My foot watch is already beeping. It's like we're starting a workout.
All right, so what we're going to do now is adapt this and make it a little bit harder. So now as we shift over to the right-hand side, we'll take one big step. As we take a step, we're going to tend to dip underneath an obstacle. Okay. So it looks like this. I step wide to the right, I dip underneath for a squat, and then I come back over to the side. All right, then moving over to the left-hand side as well. You want to try that with me?
Yes.
Let's go to the right-hand side. So big step with the leg, dipping underneath that squat, coming around, and then standing up. And you can feel the constant engagement that's required from the band in order to do this. It's not that easy. Let's try it on the other side. So big step, let's dip underneath, big squat, and then coming over to the other side. That's as simple as it is. Now, the next workout is an adaptation of this, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to keep the knee band, or the band above our knees, all right? So we're still working the glutes, still working the berms, but this time we're going to do something called an advanced squat. Now, often in our squat, we try draw and generate power from our legs, right? And often we get down to that position and the knees start to cave in. A lot of us do it. Now, the reason why that's happening is because our glutes aren't engaging, and our glutes are going to allow us to externally rotate that leg and get the power to come through when we're forcing those hips forward. So this is a great exercise to also focus on getting your squat technique correct, especially when you start increasing the weight. So when we're going down, the most important thing is not to have our feet to roll over, but just our knees to be pointing outwards as we squat. So now instead of me squatting with my knees going down and forward, watch the difference. Instead of this, I'm going down like this. Knees are opening up.
Okay.
Going back on the seat. That is the vital key component in this exercise. You want to try this with me?
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
What is the difference between turning your feet outward and then keeping your feet
more parallel? So essentially that angle is going to change a few things. It changes the insertion of that bone and into the hip. What it does is if my feet are a little bit wider apart, I'm getting more adductor work and a little bit more of the groin as well. Closer in, I'm stimulating the glute and the hamstring a little bit more, because now the hamstring's stretching over a longer region. Make sense?
Understood.
All right, so you can keep it neutral for now. Keep your feet facing forward. If you want to, you can keep them outwards, like Jamie says. That gets extra stimulation on the glute. But let's try one exercise. All right, so we're going down, keeping your knees wide, 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 holding for 2 seconds, and then coming straight back up. And the beauty of this is you're always squeezing the glute now. This is how we're supposed to squat. Keep forcing those knees back out again. Hold it for 1 second, and then straight back up. And now we can do an addition of this as well. So already we've done 3 exercises. One more just to step this one up. What we're doing is we're going into a squat. It's really cool. So exact same thing. The squat comes through again, nice and low, hold that position. But now when we're climbing, we're rising up, squeezing the glute, and at an extra little stimulation, you're going to lift your leg up to the side. There we go. And then back down. Now let's do it on the other side. Let's go down for another squat, squeeze that glute, and now lift that other leg to the other side. Simple as that. You can get into a flow with it. You can get into a nice rhythm. And I'm telling you, at the end of this, your body is gonna burn, girl.
I'm sweating. Luckily, I look good in this Hoovers outfit, so I'm fine.
You are indeed. You're looking good. You're feeling good, of course, if you finish this workout with us. And thank you so much for joining in the Magic 3 rounds. Will get you glute association that is on another level. Otherwise, all you got to do is enjoy. Let's get it.
Looking for fantastic health and weight loss benefits without a lifestyle change or being on a diet? Well, Shapeline 50 Billion from Proven Probiotics is the first ever probiotic to offer scientifically proven weight loss, while at the same time boosting immune and digestive health. That's why we think Shapeline 50 Billion may well be the world's most effective probiotic. Available at Dis-Chem and Clicks.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thank you very much for staying with your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso here on SABC3. Now, this next story really is such an incredible and equally inspiring one. After being diagnosed with cancer in 2008, Miriam Jakut Harris started on a new path to healthy eating. And she knew that was the starting point. She discovered that a healthy diet was a leading factor in helping her beat her diagnosis. And this was the moment that she made the very necessary changes to her lifestyle. And today, Miriam lives cancer-free. Fantastic news, and is the owner of Cooked Inc., which focuses on providing the best quality, healthy, halal food. It's incredible. Now, Miriam joins us this morning to share all about her inspiring journey on World Cancer Day. Miriam, it's so good to have you here. Yeah, you really are a Mbokodo superwoman.
Oh, I like that word.
Yeah, that's it. Mbokodo. That's who you are. That's what you are. But Miriam, this is absolutely incredible. And first of all, congratulations on being able to fight cancer. Because, you know, yes, there is the medical part to it and the scientific part to it, but I think so much of it has got to do with your willpower, and that speaks to all the lifestyle changes that you had to make. But take us through the moment that you were diagnosed with lymphoma.
So, that was now, where are we now? In what year?
2021.
Oh, we're in 2021.
Yes.
So in 2008, so it's over, what's that, 13 years ago? I was 27 at the time. All right, and I was diagnosed with stage 3 lymphoma. So I've just been married. I was married like 2 years only, no kids, anything like that. Went in, so I had no aches, no pains, nothing like that. Went in for a biopsy. They called me in and they told me no, it's stage 3 lymphoma. And I was like,
How was
you're
that?
young.
I mean, because you had no aches and you had no physical manifestations
Yes.
of what anyone might think cancer looks like.
Yeah.
That must have been quite shocking to you. Did you at first even think, no, man, that can't be right?
Yeah, I was dumbstruck because usually when I go to the doctor, even when I go to the dentist,
Yeah.
my husband accompanies me.
Yeah.
I'm a baby like that. But with this also, when I went in for the results, I was just like, no, it's fine. You don't have to come with me. And then they told me, no, it's cancer. I was like, I was dumbstruck.
And then, of course, this was the starting point for you. You knew at that point that you had to make some lifestyle changes. And what was that like? Was it an easy transition? Did you have to reel everybody into that journey in that space with you and your family?
So for me, when I met with the oncologist the first time, they told me it would be 6 months of treatment, intensive chemo treatment, and he put down the dates and everything like that. What I did was then, I took the calendar from the oncologist. I said, can I have that, please?
Yeah.
It's like, looked at me all confused, like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, so you said 6 months and
Yeah.
every 2 weeks, and I'm counting it down. I'm like, so I'm done here.
Love it. I
Done
absolutely
here.
love it. Yeah.
And he's like, no, during chemo and things like this, complications can occur. And I'm like, no, doctor.
You've got this. It's on the calendar.
I'm done. It's
It's done.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I mean, of course, it is a collaboration, really,
Yes.
between yourself and the medical professionals. But how important was it for you to recognize that this had so much to do with your own involvement?
That's the thing.
Hey?
So it's there to teach you something. And for me, it taught me a lot. So I always say cancer has been my blessing. Right? It taught me a lot about myself. And it's not only where you have to change the way you eat, it's the way you consume everything. So it's your movement, it's your mind, it's how you think, it's holistic beings, it's your soul, what emotions are eating at you. It's all of that in a little bundle, and it taught me all of that.
And it's so overwhelming, Miriam. I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing how you've been able to get through all of this and still be able to sit here with so much confidence and positivity today. During that phase and that entire experience, and that 6 months that you had to do your training, I mean, not your training, but I suppose training your mind to change your lifestyle. During the period that you were doing your treatment, did you ever think for any moment that you might lose the fight against cancer?
No.
No?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. So I had a best friend and one of my sister-in-laws. At the same time they had cancer, they lost the fight, sadly, with cancer. For me, when I was diagnosed, for me it was more about researching what is the chemo going to do and how can I fix my body? How can I assist my body to overcome this?
Love that. Well, as a cancer survivor, you've got so many people watching you right now, people who are battling cancer, battling the fight, people who are really looking for inspiration and are looking for that pick-me-up. What is your advice to everyone right now who is watching this and has been diagnosed with any type of cancer?
So for me, look at it like going on a hike. Right?
And I love hikes.
We in Cape Town. Right? So if you're going on a hike, what do you all need to pack in? How do you need to be prepared? Right? So you know the top of the mountain, that's your summit, that's your goal, that's where you're aiming for, right? But there's a journey involved. So you're packing snacks. So see that your nutrition is up to date, right? You're also mentally preparing for that journey, right? You also know that this journey is going to be hard, but at the end of the day, it's going to be successful. So I think it's more a mind thing. And yes, there will be days that will be very hard, but you have to push through it.
Miriam, when are you releasing a book? Because wow, you are a superhero and you're an absolute warrior. Thank you very much for joining us today and of course sharing this fantastic story of inspiration and story of personal, I think, strong will and mental will. This is incredible. You're not going anywhere. I'm not letting you go anywhere today because cancer survivor and owner of Cooked Inc., Miriam Jakut Harris, will be joining us in the Expresso kitchen to really put to all of us, for us to see exactly how she made those lifestyle changes. And it starts in the kitchen. It starts with the food and then it goes into your mind, then it goes into your body. So you want to make sure you stick around for that.
Thank you so much, Uncle Tabzi. Now we're back in the kitchen. Every time you see Knox, you know it's all about looking good, smelling good, or even feeling good. And giving ourselves and our skin some TLC plays a big part in living well as well. A regular skincare routine that includes a healthy and monitored skin detox can reverse and eliminate impurities, dead skin cells, pollutants, and toxins. This will rejuvenate and improve your skin's appearance, giving you a healthy glow. Our beauty editor, Knox Mafo, sharing some hacks on how we can detox our skin for a fresher and healthier complexion.
Yes.
Knox, why is it important for us to follow a dedicated, detox routine?
I mean, I think you've even gone into it before, Gotle, is the fact that we're behind masks. Our skin is so exposed to things that stress our skin. We've got makeup on. We're constantly on the move. There's a high oil buildup sometimes as it gets hotter. So you're going to find that your skin really is taking in a lot more and keeping it on. And of course, that mask is then going to keep that stuff on, which is why it's always so important to clean your masks, but also to clean the skin, because once we get rid of those pores, it gets to breathe, the pores get to do their thing, and the glow will come through.
And how often do you detox?
So I try to do something at least once a week.
Okay.
So I make sure that if it's not something that I'm drinking, so I mean, skin is about also what you put into your body on top of, what you put on your skin topically. So I try to mix it up. So once a week, definitely a dedicated exfoliation and a detox. But if I've had a bit of a bender of not taking care of my skin or myself, then I make sure I really do so at least once a month, where I'm like eating clean, we're doing the smoothies, we're doing it all, the skin.
You're cleansing from inside out, 100%.
Yes.
What are some of the hacks that you have for us?
Yes.
You're saying some blueberry ice.
So this is a phenomenal product, right? Which I'm like so obsessed with. So Squin is a local beauty brand, which is actually based in Cape Town, and they just joined the Woolies beauty family. So they are exclusively found at W Beauty, but also other places. And this is called the Skin Side Out, which is an all-in-one beauty smoothie, which you ingest. You can add it to a juice, you can add it to water, or a smoothie that you have. But what does it have? This is what makes it so powerful. So this actually has a type 1 marine collagen. Now we know collagen boosts the skin and the elasticity of your skin. And what I love about this, it's got 10 antioxidants, 10, right? Then it's got 5 digestive enzymes, probiotics, and vitamins. So what you're seeing here is a really potent mix of good vitamins that is getting into the collagen, that it's taking away the real dirt that we build up in the day, and you can drink it.
And just like that.
So how do we do that? So you take the beautiful sachets, right?
I love it. I just love the brand as well.
Squin Side Out. Now I would obviously get a little bit rough. I should have
get into that.
Obviously, it'd be more. So you can take 1 or 2 sachets and you put that into a cup of water. I prefer it with water, just because I just enjoy.
Does it have a specific taste as well? Does it come in different flavors?
So it comes in different flavors. I've seen like a lime one, which looks really great. But I'm pink, as you can see thematically.
You just have to.
We're on something. Sure. My mom would hate me doing this with my mouth, so call her mama. Okay, cool. So we do that and we put it in, we add a little bit of water.
Okay.
Which 200 millimeters is enough, and you can start to see the color is changing. The pinks are coming in. I'd like to add a little bit of crushed ice because, why not?
Why not?
Just a little bit of, okay, cool. And then you mix that all together, right?
So now Squin has active ingredients to help cleanse your skin from the inside out.
And Squin, true to the name, is really focused on making sure that it's clean products. So it's very economically friendly and also earth friendly, So I've just added some blueberries for garnish just at the end for a surprise. But what I love about Squin also, it's about clean beauty, and that's all the trend at the moment. We're focusing on really speaking to the skin, using what the skin does already, because your body is a detox in itself. It listens to itself. But how can we assist by doing so? So by ingesting something that is very healthy, packed with digestives and really antioxidants, it really can help the skin. So I like to add this into my day, and collagen is the queen you need to integrate into your life.
That's the one thing I'm learning currently, that collagen is the queen that you do need to include in anything that you consume,
Yes.
in anything that you do as well. It
tastes
looks like
amazing.
it tastes amazing. I can actually smell it. I want to make some for myself as well.
Yes.
Nox, thank you so much for coming through
Pleasure.
and allowing us to get our glow back on, especially this summer. Awaken new energies, everybody, and brighten your skin by following a healthy skincare routine, which includes a dedicated detoxification. You can shop all of these products, okay, including the Squen Skin Side Out all-in-one beauty smoothie at Woolworths, in-store, online, and on the Woolies app. This is just wonderful. I need one.
Do you want one?
Yes, please.
Here we go.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Cancer has a severe impact on millions around the world every year, and that is why World Cancer Day on the 4th of February is an important day to unite, to spread love and support, and most importantly, raise awareness and funds as well around cancer. And this morning we are chatting to Alana James, the CEO of the Sunflower Fund, who we know all too well, and Simone Extern, the Director of the Independent Community Pharmacy Association, on their collaborative efforts to bring together communities to educate people about fighting blood diseases specifically. Ladies, you are both amazing human beings, and it makes us so proud to be connecting with you this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Always absolutely amazing to spend some time with you guys. Thanks for having us.
We are absolutely super.
We are so happy to be able to connect with both of you today. Alana, I'll start with you. We discussed this for Health Tuesdays on Tuesday, but maybe you can elaborate on this. What is the significance of World Cancer Day?
So World Cancer Day for us is it's really important because it's a time where we create awareness about cancers, about diagnosis. And, you know, one of the biggest challenges we have is just awareness and education. So World Cancer Day really brings that recognition to the table. It helps people, visit their doctor for early diagnosis. It helps them understand what their family and friends and communities are going through and how you can still support and maybe even save their life.
i.e. by becoming a donor, as I am, and hopefully many more people will be after this. The Sunflower Fund works incredibly hard, Alana, at recruiting donors for a number of blood diseases. Can you tell us a bit more about the Sunflower Fund's mission and what are some of the biggest challenges you are currently facing?
So our biggest goal is to really see patients being able to get to transplant. And so for somebody who's got a diagnosis of a blood disease or a blood disorder, for many of them, their only chance of survival is a stem cell transplant for which they need a matching donor. So every day, our efforts at the Sunflower Fund and our partners are there to recruit those stem cell donors to potentially be a match for someone.
I met a young patient who had already survived leukemia once and then had contracted it or had gone back into that state. And after that, realizing that you could literally save someone's life, that you could be that hero, that person that gets to save another person's life by doing something that, let's be honest, doesn't require a huge amount of you. That's no question. So I really do hope more people will rally to that cause.
Simone, I'm going to let you weigh in on the conversation as well. Maybe you can tell us about the ICPA and also the partnership that you have with the Sunflower Fund.
So the Independent Community Pharmacy Association is an organization which provides pharmacies which are owner managed and your typical mom and pop pharmacies with a collective strength and a coherent voice that is heard by government, the medical schemes, pharmaceutical suppliers, and most importantly, our patients and our patrons. The ICPA represents roughly 1,100 owner-managed pharmacies and one of the largest pools of professionals in the healthcare sector. It is not just about selling TOPEs, which is an acronym for Tubes of Hope, with the Sunflower Fund during August and September of each year. Our pharmacy teams campaigns amongst each other, our staff, our patients, and within our communities, obviously, to say, remember, I'm hope. You can be the hope to save somebody's life. I personally signed up as a stem cell donor, and I'm so proud of it. And I love to have the conversations with our patients to say, and to give them the positive affirmations to remember, I'm courageous, I'm brave, I'm strong.
Simone, I've got to ask you, because you're obviously representing, I love that, the mom and pop stores out there, but pharmacies really do form a central part of our communities. Why is it so important for you to work with these pharmacies in the communities in South Africa?
We partner to bring our communities together to educate the people around blood diseases like leukemia, as mentioned by Alana. And remember, our reach is far more than just urban. It is deeply, deeply rural. Often your patients that don't have access to your typical digital media forms, things like that. So we have conversations with patients, and we have conversations about what they can do as a single person to give someone hope.
Alana, I want to throw it back to you, because you mentioned this earlier. Now, you said 1 in 100,000 chance of finding a donor. What exactly does it mean? How does that work? And what are you looking for when finding a match?
So we always try and explain it as what you're looking for is your genetic twin out there, which means that somebody with your same sort of hereditary background, your same ancestry. So we always talk about South Africa being this most amazing rainbow nation because we've got such diversity in culture. If you're looking for a genetic twin out there, it is incredibly difficult, because that diversity means your chances of finding a match are even greater. So we have to encourage donors from potential donors and matches from every single walk of life, from every culture group. And that's where our partnership with ICPA is so critical and so important, because as Simone was saying, they reach out to the communities, and to be able to spread this message and this education so vast is fantastic for us.
An opportunity for South Africa to stand up and help each other. How do we do it? Very quickly, how can we get involved to make that change?
So really easily, you zip onto the Sunflower Fund website and you see what the criteria are, and they're really simple, and it'll take you under 2 minutes to register as a stem cell donor. And because of COVID and all the challenges that we faced, a wonderful system has been put in place where we'll actually deliver your swab kit to your home or your office address. It's a brief swab in each cheek, that's it, and send that back to us. And that's it. That's the process to register as a donor.
As easy as that.
I love
Simone, Alana, thank you so much for joining us today, and also for sharing some insight on this for World Cancer Day.
We really do appreciate it. The efforts of a host of people around this time, but every day of the year, in fact. And together, I think we can fight life-threatening blood disorders and bring awareness and change to our communities. But the key word, together. We need a community to stand up now, and you can be somebody's hope for life by registering to be a stem cell donor. As you've heard, it is so easy. You can also donate money, or you can offer your time and your expertise as a volunteer. But visit sunflowerfund.org to find out literally how you can change someone's life forever.
Thank you so much, G and Jamie, and such a valuable and incredible cause. Now, earlier in the show, we were chatting to Jason Oosthuizen, of course, from Ooth, and they will be performing straight after the news. But let's first find out in the news with G, and then kicking off with the magic. Check around.
Thanks so much, Raul. Let's start with international news that pertains to South Africa. America has revised its blanket travel ban on South Africa to allow H-2A visa holders entry. This non-immigrant certification for temporary workers performing agricultural services allows qualified South Africans to stay in the US for up to 10 months. Second only to Mexico, H-2A visa holders from South Africa are in highest demand. South Africans experienced in driving tractors, trucks and harvesters on farms are especially sought after. In fact, in 2019, some 275,000 workers from South Africa entered the US on that H-2A visa. And here in South Africa, healthcare workers have been urged to register for their COVID-19 vaccines via an online platform, which was officially launched by the government yesterday. So phase one of the vaccination program targets 1.25 million healthcare workers. And to date, the focus had been on clinical workers at high-volume institutions, but the government is now urging traditional healers, medical students, security personnel and porters at the hospitals to register as well. The electronic vaccination data system is intended to monitor supplies and ensure that the local vaccination sites are adequately equipped to meet the demand. Then back onto the international front, America has extended the New START nuclear arms control treaty with Russia for a further 5 years. This as President Joe Biden and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin reportedly discussed it by phone a week ago. The treaty had been set to lapse tomorrow as the Trump administration had refused to approve the extension. And announcing the move, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said it made the world a safer place. Then bringing it back to the continent, Nigeria's Kaduna State has signed a deal with medical delivery firm Zipline that will allow drone shipment of COVID-19 vaccines without significant state investment in cold chain storage, the company said yesterday. Now, Kaduna's partnership with Zipline, which delivered more than 1 million doses of other vaccines in Africa over the last year, will also enable on-demand delivery of blood products, medications and other vaccines. Zipline currently also operates in Ghana and Rwanda. And now, news from the world of entertainment to round us off. The 2021 Golden Globe Awards season officially kicked off last night with the list of nominees being announced for the 78th Golden Globe Awards to be presented virtually due to COVID-19. Now, 3 women have been nominated for Best Director, the first time more than one has been shortlisted in a single year. In fact, only 5 female directors have been nominated in the past 77 years. Regina King, Chloe Zhao and Britain's Emerald Fennell have been nominated alongside David Fincher and Aaron Sorkin. Now, Fennell, King and Zhao are recognized for their films Promising Young Woman, One Night in Miami and Nomadland, respectively. Britain's Fennell can also be seen in The Crown playing Camilla Parker Bowles. King is also an actress, having won an Oscar and a Golden Globe for 2018's If Beale Street Could Talk. Chinese director Zhao is the first woman of Asian descent to be up for the prize as well. Mank is the most nominated film with 6 nominations, the same number as The Crown, in fact, which leads the way in the TV category. The winners will be announced at a ceremony on the 28th of February, but a brilliant sign of the times. That's where we leave our news for now. Let's touch on the sports again. Let's start with cricket and Cricket South Africa. Yesterday were able to congratulate the Proteas women for winning their T20 International Series against Pakistan at Kingsmead Stadium in Durban. South Africa won the series 2-1 after Pakistan earned a consolation victory in that final T20 match yesterday. Pakistan's captain Javira Khan, who missed out on the first 2 games due to a finger injury, she was on form, smashing 56 from just 50 deliveries to guide her team to that 8-run victory yesterday, based on the Duckworth-Lewis method. Then on to football. Reigning Nedbank Cup champions and PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns, they edged out Stellenbosch FC in a thriller 3-2 in extra time at Loftus Versfeld Stadium to book their spot in the round of last 16. Namibian international Peter Shalulile scoring the winner in the 117th minute of the match. In other results, Polokwane City beat Steenberg United 2-0 in Limpopo in the earlier encounter. Then there'll be 2 Nedbank Cup fixtures today as Bizana Pondo Chiefs face Cape Town on All Stars at 3 p.m. and then TTM, they take on Supersport United at 5 p.m. Then further afield, bit of a shock in the Premier League last night. A lone goal by Steven Alzate helping Brighton record a 1-0 win over defending champions Liverpool at Anfield. So the result leaves Liverpool 7 points behind log leaders Manchester City, who beat Burnley 2-0 at Turf Moor. That was in the earlier fixture yesterday. Goals by Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling confirming now a 13th successive win for the table-topping citizens. Leicester City, they moved up to third place on the log. That was after beating Fulham 2-0 at Craven Cottage. And then there's, excuse me, one big one to look forward to tonight in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur up against Chelsea in a London derby. That one kicks off at 10 p.m. SA time. That's where we leave our sport. Let's take another look at the weather with Kutle.
Thank you so much, G, for the news and sports updates. It's time for us to get into our second look at your stunning sunrise photos that you have really pulled through on our social media with. We start off our 7 a.m. update with this gorgeous photo of the sun rising over the ocean, sent in by Maureen and Salbanetta from Yellow Sands on the East Coast. What a breathtaking view to start your day with. Thank you so much, Maureen. Your area will reach a mild 22 degrees today. We head inland next to Rustenburg, where Gloria shared this bright image of the sun rising high in the sky. It's going to be a humid day with thunder showers scattered throughout your day. Thank you to all our contributors. We encourage our local and international viewers to please share your sunrise photos on the Expresso Facebook page and show us how you start your day in your part of the country, and we will show it live on the show. Moving further afield with our weather environmental news, U.S. President Joe Biden this week signed a series of executive orders aimed to address climate change, including a new ban on some energy drilling. The orders aim to freeze new oil and gas leases on public lands and double offshore wind-produced energy by 2030. Fossil fuels have been the bedrock of U.S. prosperity for more than a century. The country's economy, security, and society depend on them. But in the few days since his inauguration, the new American president has gone to war against coal, oil, and natural gas with a decisiveness that has caught everyone by surprise. Biden has shown that his views on climate change in a very serious light and has labeled it a national security priority. It should be a priority to all of us globally because this is our planet and it is up to us to take care of it. We bring it back home with today's temperatures. If you find yourself at Polokwane, your temperatures range from 20, reaching a high of 27. Bombela do expect some thunder showers with 42% chance of rain forecast. Pretoria, wet conditions are expected in your part of the country with a minimum of 19, reaching a maximum of 25. We shift our focus to the city of gold, Johannesburg, with a maximum of 21 from a low of 17. Mahikeng, thunder showers expected, 41% chance of rain forecast. Klerksdorp, do be on the lookout for thunder showers as well, with temperatures ranging from 18, reaching a high of 24. Kimberley, it's a mostly sunny day with a maximum of 27. Thunder showers expected at 40% chance of rain. Bloemfontein, 15, 24. Be on the lookout for some wet conditions throughout the day as well. It's a cloudy day in Richards Bay, some grey clouds for you with a maximum of 32 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, you start off your morning with a minimum of 19, reaching an afternoon high of 29 degrees. Now we move over to South Africa's playground, Durban, 24-29. Mthatha, Niqala, the day with the low of 18, reaching a high of 29 degrees. It's a rainy one for East London, 21-25. Craddock, thunder showers forecast at 40% chance of rain, 17, peaking at 34 degrees. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, your temperatures range from 19, reaching a high of 25. It's a partly cloudy day in George with a minimum of 15, reaching a maximum of 24. Cape Town, the mother city, 18-23. It's a sunny day for your part of the country. Worcester, it's a perfect summer's day with a maximum of 34 degrees. Sutherland, 11-29. And Uppington coming through with the highest temperature in the country this Thursday, 36 degrees. Make sure to stay hydrated and do not forget your sunblocks if you are from that part of the country. We'll have another look at your stunning sunrise photos and the weather forecast for the day at the top of the hour. For now, remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Thank you so much, Kukle. Now, I still can't get over the incredible pictures that come through when you're sending it. I just get blown away. It just makes me want to go outside every time. Now, listen, speaking about something a bit more serious, and we were presenting you with the topic of cancer and being a cancer survivor this morning. And we asked you, Mzansi, if you know of or have experienced or seen anybody that has beaten the disease and has come across or has overcome cancer and has become a survivor. And we asked you to share your inspiring stories with us. And of course, Mzansi has come through with the inspiration. And Jamie, what you got on your side?
We'll start off with Bonolo CRB. It says, my mom is a survivor and I'm always grateful to God for preserving her life. It was a very emotionally draining time, but God saw us through. Thank you so much for sharing that with us this morning. Another one is from Nomsa Shingowe, and also name is Cancer Survivor. Of course, today is World Cancer Day, and she says, I am a cancer survivor and I will continue to inspire others. As you can see, she has some pictures there, and she says, frame number 1 is helping childhood cancer survivor put on a mask. Frame number 2 is helping childhood cancer survivors sit during our celebration, and then she pledges to continue supporting survivors. #Expresso Show.
Oh, wow, that is so cool. What an incredible ambassador. Now I've got another one coming through here, and this is it's actually from Cancer Survivor. Her name is Nomsa, and she says, I'm a survivor. I was diagnosed with the stage 3 osteosarcoma at 23 years old in October 2014, which I believe is a bone-related cancer. I turned 30 years old on the 17th of Jan, and I received chemotherapy and underwent 2 major surgeries. I am a cancer survivor and I will inspire others. #Expresso. And I think all of these survivors right now, we can't thank you enough for coming through and inspiring the rest of Mzansi and the world. And your story definitely adds to the weight that's needed, obviously, to overcome this disease. So thank you, Mzansi, for sharing, and keep chatting to us as we continue your Thursday magic.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Just been treated to a sound check. Oh, we're going to rock out this morning. You want to stick around for that. But right now, let's get serious for a second and talk legal matters, starting from this 1st of May 2021, which is around the corner. And of course, coincidentally, Workers' Day, proposed new laws will go into effect that will take the minimum wage of restaurant workers, adjust their remuneration, as well as require restaurants to pay more operating costs. And in the time of lockdown and multiple alcohol and curfew restrictions, this news, understandably, is not going down too well within the industry.
Yep, now it's time for another edition of our feature where we focus on the unconventional side of law. It's called So Now What? And we're calling once again upon the legal guidance of our friend and expert in law, director at legalese.co.za, Aiton Stone, to answer the question, am I required to pay restaurant workers more? So now what?
So now what? So now what? And you would think on the surface of it, good changes.
Sure, yeah.
Because we want workers to be remunerated fairly, but also it's a complicated system at the moment. Restaurants are shutting down weekly. It's been heartbreaking just to see on Instagram, for instance, how many restaurants that were proudly displaying their wares have now been taking us through their shutdown. But before we get into the emotional side of the conversation, what are the proposed laws that will be coming into effect?
Cool. So there's been what's called a bargaining council agreement for these new restaurant regulations, and what it essentially says is restaurants are now required to pay their staff a minimum wage. There's certain bonuses that have to be paid. They have to contribute to to a provident fund, which is like a retirement insurance for their employees. And there's certain other requirements that restaurants have to do. So what it does do, the agreement, it does mean that the operating costs of restaurants goes up. But it also means that workers get paid more. So you're going to find in all these discussions around labor in South Africa or anywhere in the world, it's always going to be a balance between the two things, labor rights and business operations or business owners' rights. So this conversation fits as a balance between those two things.
I want to follow up on that statement with a double-barrel question. The first one is, why is it important for businesses to adhere to this new law? And secondly, what is the back and forth between the two systems that you just described now?
Sure. So minimum wages are put in place so that, because if you allow people, well, there's different views on this, but the view is that if you allow people to pay workers what they want, they'll pay as little as they want. So government steps in and creates these minimum wages and says, look, in this industry, here's the minimum that you have to pay people. Why is it important that people obey the laws? Well, I think laws in general, it's important that people obey them, otherwise society can turn to chaos. But it also means that these industries are governed. These bargaining councils are set up which look at the industry. They have participation from workers, trade unions, business owners, and they make decisions that govern the industry. So they're meant to be for the good of the industry, so that the industry is managed as a whole instead of in a piecemeal fashion.
What happens to restaurants that don't comply? You've spoken about the bargaining council, in this case, for fast food restaurants, catering and allied trades. And you would think that it would be a good step forward.
Sure.
Are they designed to protect the industry, protect the restaurants, or protect the worker?
So great question. So bargaining councils are set up essentially to protect all of them. So it's a group that's set up which is made of a combination between all of them, and they're supposed to have about 50% of the industry. They're supposed to represent about 50% of the industry in each bargaining council, which means that they come up with a solution which is meant to be comfortable for everyone. Obviously, this one is quite controversial right now because, again, it sits in this balance. Restaurants are hurting and shutting down, which is terrible. But also workers are hurting and people haven't made money in a long time. So there is a question about whether this does represent the industry and whether it is a good thing. And that kind of is a matter of opinion and where you sit on the spectrum about what you feel is more important at this time. Should restaurants be increasing their costs, which will get passed on to us as the consumers, in order to make sure that workers are paid more? Or should they keep costs as low as possible in order to entice us to come back to restaurants and then keep the jobs? So, I don't know the answer. I'm not a labor economist, but that's the question which everyone has to ask.
And ultimately, the restaurants need to stay open to provide the jobs in that process. So it's a very dynamic situation. Raise tips to 15%. That's what I'm saying. We're going to continue this very important discussion that affects so many businesses and so many workers during a critical phase here in South Africa. Eitan's going to stick around.
Well, when you see me getting my apron ready, you know it's time to be schooled in the kitchen one more time. And the thing is, it's the truth. There are very few things in life as precious as our health, and eating a balanced diet is the first step in maintaining our bodies and our immunities. It's a known thing, it's a fact, but do we actually ever really follow that? Well, we should be, and no one knows this better than the cancer warrior and owner of Cooked Inc., Miriam Jakut Harris, and she makes lots of yummy, healthy meals there by Cooked Inc., And she's devoted her life to creating and providing meals that are fresh, they are delicious, and they give our bodies their best fighting chance as much as possible. So let food be thy medicine, and join us for this delicious yellowtail ceviche. Woo! I love it. It sounds so fancy. Ceviche.
And all it is, it's raw fish, right?
Wow, that's interesting that you would call it ceviche.
Ceviche. Yeah. So what we're making today is a yellowtail. Right, ceviche. So yellowtail is a nice fish to use. It's abundant here in Cape Town and things like that. It's also on the happy list, like I call it.
Okay, tell me about the happy list.
So the happy list is your green, what's the people call sassy? Yeah.
Oh,
so they have green status, so there's plenty of them in there. Plenty of fish in the sea.
Well, yes, and I love that. Okay, so this is great. This is a good start because we know fish is good for us. So what are we going to do with that?
So we are going to cook it. Okay, using acids.
This is interesting. I would like to see you do that.
So we're going to be using a mixture of lemon juice.
So that's lemon juice in there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Some orange juice.
Okay.
For some sweetness.
So this is all those juices, I suppose, that are high in acidity.
Yeah, that's good for you.
Okay, so lemon juice, orange juice.
And some lime juice for pop.
Lime juice. I mean, all that vitamin C already that's popping there. Miriam, you're off to a good winning start.
This
is
what is this?
Garlic.
Garlic.
Chopped up garlic.
So now with in this pandemic that we're in, all I do is eat a raw clove of that in the morning.
Every day.
Oh, it burns. It burns, but it feels so good.
Does your husband love it that you do that every day?
He has left for work already. But try chewing one whole fresh clove. Just try it. Right.
I'll try it when I'm alone for the weekend, yes.
Some coriander going in.
Yeah.
Some mint. And some chili.
Oh, beautiful.
Right. So chili is also high in vitamin C.
Yeah, I was about to say, all of these really are all the superpower ingredients that boost your immune system, and they really protect you against all manner of infections and viruses. And yes, Miriam is right to say, especially during this time where we are fighting this pandemic, you want to make sure you boost as much as you can. Yes, you do all the other things that you need to do, but boosting, super important.
I always say food first. Before taking supplements or anything like that, food first.
Yeah.
So you can see all of the factors we introduced here already.
It's going to mix all of that up. And you've got other ingredients here. I'm seeing some red onion. I'm seeing some chopped up tomatoes.
So that's for our, like a salsa that we're going to be making to accompany the ceviche. You can pop all our veggies in there.
So some cucumbers going in there into the mix.
Look at this. Can you see how the color is starting?
Color.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were going to boil it or something.
No.
Oh,
so as it sits, it starts cooking in the acids.
Because of the acids.
Yes.
I love that. That's really good. So you don't have to spend much time there. I'm throwing in some tomatoes here as part of our salsa mix that we're making.
Then some good fats.
Some good fats. Do you eat your avo with the skin on? No, I'm kidding.
Does that? What?
No, it's fine. Let's not talk about it. And then some corn going.
Ooh. Beautiful.
And then some red onions. Oh, I love red onions.
So all we've done with the corn is we've roasted it slightly, just again for more flavor.
Okay, great.
Right.
So I'm mixing all of this up together. I mean,
you can add some olive oil.
Yes, some color coming in there, which is great. All of that color, lots of color. Okay.
Oh, that's enough.
That's enough. Okay, thank you.
More is more.
More is more. I love it.
And drizzle of some vinegar.
I could spend my days with you in the kitchen, you know? You make me so happy in the kitchen.
Right.
You make it a fun...
And then a little bit, just a little bit there.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Salt there.
There we go.
There we go.
Happy? Okay, cool. So I'm mixing all of that up. Okay, cool. Right. So now you've got avo, which is going to go in here. Great. That's fantastic.
All go in.
Well, if you want this recipe, what we've done is we've made this super easy for you to get your hands on it. Go onto our website. That's where it lives. It's on expressoshow.com. You go on there. The recipe's there. Oh. Under the recipe, you see all the ingredients and a step-by-step guide of how to bring this recipe to life.
How gorgeous does that look?
Nice. I just want to be chomping it up already. While, of course, our yellowtail there is busy cooking up
away.
All the acids. Now you're plating, which is my favorite part of this entire thing. Okay, my second favorite, because my favorite is the tasting bit.
Eating.
That's all going there.
How fresh and quick is this?
It looks so good. And the fact that it's so fresh even makes it better, even better, right?
Perfect summer food.
Great. Well, that's what it looks like when it's all set and done. And I promise you now, anyone coming to your house is going to want to be chomping up on that. It's absolutely stunning. It's healthy. It's packed with all the goodness and all the good things that you want to get in a plate. Or maybe if you want, you get them all in a bowl like this, because that's how Miriam does it. A big bowl of goodness. Miriam, again, you're a hero.
Thank you.
Yes, a cancer warrior. Absolutely fantastic. But wow, it seems also in the kitchen just as heroic. I love your work, man. Thank you so much. Put it here. You're my favorite person, my new favorite person. Go onto our website, expressoshow.com. If you want this recipe, it's all there. And this is fantastic. Happy eating, and here's to good health.
Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso, and you are rejoining our discussion with lawyer and director at legalese.co.za and our good friend Aiton Stern as he breaks down the incoming changes to the wage and operating costs in the restaurant industry in South Africa.
The news have not been received very well by the restaurant industry because throughout lockdown, I think they are the one industry that has taken a huge knock. Can you please explain to us the interdict that was taken by the restaurant employers?
Sure. So restaurant owners have obviously not been happy about this, and they've gone to court to try to stop the changes, which are meant to go into effect this month. Some of them are meant to come in May, and some are meant to start from this month. So they've tried to stop it. And what they're saying is, first of all, the changes are unfair, and second of all, that there hasn't been enough support from the industry, that this bargaining council doesn't actually represent the industry. So we're going to wait to see how that plays out, essentially.
I was going to say, because surely the bargaining council would be that representation, that you would have to have that coming from an external force kind of nullifies the existence.
Exactly. So bargaining councils, they're set up to manage, but they're like governing bodies that manage specific industries. So as I said earlier, they're made up of lots of parts of the industry, and they get their own kind of almost like a court system to govern disputes, and they're allowed to make rules. So it's quite an important thing, and when one is set up, it's set up with in terms of the Labour Relations Act. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know the details of why they say that this bargaining council is legitimate, but we'll find out soon.
So I'm going to hire you now to sit and chair our next bargaining council meeting and play mediator between all these parties. What do you think is a positive way forward, a way to strike a balance in this case, considering all the pressures that the industry is under?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a tough one. We're in this unprecedented time of the COVID crisis. The big enemy here is are lockdowns, and that's because of COVID. And so, we're all starting to squabble over what the solutions are. But we mustn't forget, like, we're all on the same team. The bad guy here is this disease that's around. What can government do? Well, I would hope they could make laws which allow restaurants to stay open. I'm very happy that alcohol is being sold again at restaurants because that entices people to go out. It means people can take responsibility and take risks if they want to. But still, you can measure that up about creating safety ways for people to stay safe in restaurants. But certainly the only way that this is going to end is when we're all vaccinated and this thing is behind us.
Yeah.
I have to add, what are we really dealing with here? What will happen to the restaurants that don't comply to this? How is this going to be enforced?
Sure. So there are enforcement mechanisms for these bargaining councils. So if they don't comply, they'll be told to comply, and if they still don't after that, they can be served notice to appear before an arbitration or mediation, and if they lose it there, then there can be fines for the restaurants who don't comply. So these bargaining council rules work just like any other rules.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was saying, with this interdict, will that affect this coming into effect on the 1st of May?
So if the interdict is seen before then and there's a judgment before then it will. If not, and we're still waiting for the judgment, then it won't. Then these will come into effect and restaurants will be forced to comply with these new laws and prices will change. But look, I think change is always difficult. Change is always hard. Restaurant workers, I certainly worked in lots of restaurants when I was growing up. Generally, restaurant workers aren't paid anything and they're made to survive on tips. So I definitely think the industry does require some change. It's not nice that it's happening now in COVID at a time where restaurant owners are hurting, and I totally get that. But change is tough. But we need to be talking about this.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was about to ask you what your stance is in the entire situation, and I agree with you because I also used to work at restaurants. I know for a fact that restaurant workers are hardly paid enough to just get through. They rely on tips a lot. And you mentioned that the tip should increase to 15%.
Is that the answer? But I think for me, it's like you kind of feel like in that informal space of being a waiter, you do have some control and you can drive up you work at a good restaurant, you work good hours, you can make good money. What about the guy bussing tables? What about the guy cleaning the restaurant after the fact? What about the...
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to affect everyone. It's going to affect the guys in the kitchen, the bar staff, and also the restaurant workers that are sitting in restaurants that aren't full, that aren't making their tips. So Yeah, it's solutions are tough, but they do need to be thought through. So I think it's good. I think the fact that we're talking about this on Expresso, the fact that there is a bargaining council, the fact that it's in the media and people are engaging with a specific industry and labour that we wouldn't have engaged with before is always a good thing. And I hope there's a solution which
favors both parties.
Favors both parties.
And the vaccine is here, man. We've just got to just see it out, man. The vaccine is here.
Almost
Things will improve, but hopefully we'll see more cohesion between that bargaining council and the industry at large. And ultimately that workers will be protected and that we can see more restaurants thriving here in the country. It's really interesting. Thank you so much.
Cool.
You can let us know if you've got any opinions. Maybe you're a waiter. What do you think? 20%? 30% tip? Let us know.
Such an interesting time when it comes to restaurants. Now, another thing that I've noticed of late is that restaurants and food chains are starting to develop apps, especially during this current pandemic, which is centered on delivery of their menus. Now, the same goes for food delivery apps too, but what are the apps that we could use for the eco-conscious eater or the creative home cook out there? Now, Grant Hines is joining us to talk about 5 interesting food apps that you might not have heard of. Brother, how are we doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm really excited about these apps because we all know the normal, the
delivery apps and all the standard options.
The ones that everybody's family has been telling you to get.
So you're here to serve us when I'm sitting down, I'm hungry, but I want something that's maybe healthy, something that's potentially sustainable and ticks Nature Boy's boxes. So
yes,
what are you recommending for me, man?
Okay, so the first app is if you have to eat fish. I do recommend not eating fish completely, just because environmentally it's problematic right now.
And that's because of the pressures that the ocean's kind of suffering at the moment. Fishing is quite a...
Yeah, we've overfished our oceans long ago.
Yeah.
But because of that stuff, if you have to eat fish, Sassy have an app which allows you to check up on what is the most sustainable fish to eat. So you can make informed judgments as to what's on your plate, which is really great. So there's an app that's on your phone. You might be in a restaurant, you can just pull it up and it's right there. So
I could even look at the menu and see, well, look, I'm all for sustainability. This fish is on the red list. Let me stay away from it.
Yes.
And focus more on something else on the green.
Tune the restaurant that's doing it. Why are you serving this? What's wrong with you?
But I like that. I think we need to talk about this more because it's becoming, and it's always going to become a topic of discussion, and it's getting worse and worse. So I think the fact that we start taking responsibility and using apps like this, perfect.
Of course. The next one is, it's called Is It Vegan?
Is it vegan?
And it's a very simple one. All it does is, I know a lot of people have done like veganuary. We did a lot of stuff on the show for veganuary. Some people still don't know what vegan is. It's just no animal products. If animals were involved in making it, it's not vegan. It's simple. It's so simple. So a lot of people go to a new product or a product that they like and they've done veganuary, they want to continue it. How do they know if the contents are vegan? Well, Is It Vegan allows you to scan the barcode of the product and it will tell you how likely vegan it is. So you can go like, it's pretty vegan, and then you can, then you know that you can make it like an informed decision.
That's really cool. So I don't have to type in the food name and all this monotonous...
Just scan the barcode and it'll tell you exactly what it is.
Okay,
it's called
brilliant.
Is It Vegan? It's really cool.
And I think a lot of our veganuary enthusiasts from last month are taking it through, so this is a perfect one.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that started it and are just continuing because, they're saving a lot of money and they're healthier. They're getting health and fitness is, on top of everyone's minds.
Right
trending. It's really cool. So the next thing is Clink. This is a very interesting app. It's an app I didn't know about until doing some research on this. Clink is an app where you pay 90 Rand a month.
Okay.
And there are a bunch of restaurants, I think specifically in the Cape Town area, there are different areas that you can see. And you can then have a free drink at any one of those locations every single day for the month.
Every day?
Every day for the month. So
I'm doing the math here. I'm like 90 bucks a month.
It's a coffee shop or it's a, like a Mexican place or whatever. So you can go, it's one a day. So, you can sit down and have one coffee.
But already you're justifying that membership of the 90 bucks. That's being paid through in the first week
so
already.
if you have like, I think 9, you go to a restaurant 9 times or whatever, it's 10 Rand per drink. It's
cool.
So that's called Clink. That's really sick.
And then I would imagine it also entices you and encourages you to go to these new places.
Exactly.
If you're chasing the free drink or not, you're getting an experience on top of it.
Yeah, you can, sometimes drinks are the most expensive part of the menu. So you just go like, I have my beer covered or my coffee covered.
So Grant, you and I can go out for a date one day and I'll get the drinks, you get the meal.
I see what you did there. Okay, the next one is Tasty. Okay. Tasty is an app which does these short clips on how to make a meal. Sometimes you read a recipe on a blog and it's just too complicated. And Tasty takes those recipes and makes short clips of those recipes. So you can search for something that maybe you're making at home and you can see how it's prepared, which is really
cool. Would this line up with something like the veganuary issue? Like if I'm going vegan, would it provide me with a vegan option?
You just search the recipe that you want to cook, and then you can find that recipe, and so yeah, that's really cool. And you can search what kind of recipes. The last app that I want to bring up is actually probably the most interesting one. It's called Olio. And it's kind of like Tinder for leftovers. So
Tinder for leftovers. Okay, I'm listening.
Okay,
what do you mean, man?
So if you are making a meal, maybe you make a curry, right?
Yeah.
And you've made too much.
Okay.
And you know that there might be people in your apartment block or in your neighborhood that might want that food. On the app, you just go, hey, take a photograph. Here's I've made too much curry. I've got like a couple of plates. If anybody wants to grab some, come fetch, because otherwise it's getting thrown away.
I see what's going on here.
So if you're looking for a meal, for instance, and you're like, I don't have time to cook, or like I just can't afford something this month, you can open up the app called Olio, and then you can see who in your neighborhood has got it.
That is so cool. I'm just thinking, like, if you stayed in a complex or something, and you like didn't have time, or you had a little community going on, you could be like, Oaks, help me out, I'm struggling for a meal. That's like, so cool.
And then also, if you've grown, like people have like gardens, veg gardens, and they go like, we've got way too many tomatoes, we don't know what to do with them. Brilliant. Can somebody come and fetch them? Olio also provides a service for that, because you can go, cool, I can pick up some tomatoes, I'm going to work out what to make with this, I'm going to shove it with some pasta and make like an arrabbiata or something,
That is brilliant. I'm just thinking about the crazy communal effects that can happen from this, and at the same time just the interaction as well, man.
Yeah, it's called Olio. A lot of people always go like, what was that app you were talking about? It's called Olio, and I think it would be really cool if body corporates got behind that, because that's
man,
really
we've got Grant Hines in the building, of course, feeding us with everything that we need when it comes to tech, and the man's made me hungry indeed, but after this, of course, Uth is still in the building. They're about to deliver something special, and you do not want to go anywhere. Check this out.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's time to rock and roll now after Uth. Frontman Jason Oosthuizen has told us so much about their brand new album, Nothing's Gonna Change. We can't wait to rock it out to their brand new music live right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, Uth is known for their catchy riffs, contagious energy on stage, and that energetic delivery of vocals. This is exactly what we signed up for and exactly what they have in store for us this morning. Now, performing their track number 6 titled Sunshine, please welcome Lock Local Band Uth. Guys, take it away.
Thank you.
You might be a million It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Time to get into the fields. Valentine's Day is coming. Yeah, a box of chocolates is the perfect Valentine's surprise for your loved ones, maybe your best friend, your neighbor, your teacher, even a colleague, appropriately. Anyone who you think deserves that little special surprise just to brighten up their day. And we are giving each other a little box of chocolates today. But there's a catch. We have to guess who it's from. Looking at the chocolates that are available, great. I'm already winning. I'm happy. I think we should let the ladies go first, eh? Okay.
Jamie, do you want to start?
Do you used to feel that pressure over Valentine's Day? Because it was at school, especially. It was like, oh, you're going to get a rose. You're going to give a rose. You're going to, you know.
Yeah, I was like lastminute.com always, and I would not find a gift, so I'd just like try and make something like carve a piece of wood. It would never come out the way I wanted, but the thought was there. So
Yeah.
I learned along the way that it's the effort that counts.
Okay, so what's your dedication say?
Okay, so mine says, surprise, dear Jamie. You have been on such a wonderful journey with new challenges, obstacles, and new ways to learn and grow as a person. It has been an honor and blessing to see your fitness and spiritual journey, and I want to celebrate our friendship with this decadent selection of the finest chocolates. You inspire me. Lots of love. # guess who?
I have a feeling. Who do you think?
Do you know why? Because
Why are you laughing?
it's a very beautiful message,
a
but with
lovely
all the
message.
English words, I will have to go with Ryle.
I thought the fitness thing kind of gave it away.
Goals, yeah.
I think I'm appreciative of your admiration of my English, though. Thank you. But you definitely do deserve it, Jamie. I honestly do believe like you are decadent in everything that you're doing. You're handling your journey with such poise, and I'm just excited to see your future. Celebrate it.
Do you know what I think it is? It's because you know that you killed me in that workout, and it's like, here's a treat for you.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate it so
And
much.
do all that hard work.
Thank you.
Go for it, Coot.
Oh, I'm so excited. Which one do I have? Ooh, dark chocolate, salted caramel, truffles. Yum, yum,
Nice.
yum.
If you want to swap, I don't mind it. That's my flavor.
Just all trade with each other.
After. So this one reads, Dear Guhle, look at you, Guhle. I look
at
in
you.
your eyes and see your heart. How incredible. That's because those beautiful eyes of yours are the window not only to your soul, but your heart too. I hope you enjoy these chockies with a liquid salted caramel and 70% dark chocolate. Lots of love. # guess who. I'm going to go with G.
That wasn't me, man.
Was it not you?
It wasn't me. It's
Who
such a
was
lovely
you?
message.
Oh, it's probably Uncle Tabsy then.
I think
eh?
it's Uncle Tubbs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's such a
In
good
his
message.
absence, thank you so much,
That's a
Uncle
sweet
Tabs. This
message,
is really
Tubbs.
appreciated. I love it.
That's a sweet message, Tubbs. That's
Let's
lovely.
go, guys.
Okay, I'm going to go.
Cheer up.
I'm going to go because watching you open your chocolates has made me hungry.
You can open yours first.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Hazelnut truffles with dark chocolate praline. Beautiful. I love nuts and chocolates. I absolutely love it. Put it there, proudly displayed. Happy Valentine's Day, G-Man. I think it's only fitting to give you these hazelnut pralines wrapped around 57% dark chocolate nuggets and enrobed in milk chocolate. Yes, because you are so sweet. I know it's corny, but it's also your last Valentine's Day as an unmarried man, so I thought I would celebrate our friendship with something special. Hope you enjoy it.
Reality just kicked in, right? It is your last Valentine's Day as an unmarried
thankfully,
man.
It's very cool to me to even hear that out loud. So that's really, really special. Difficult because you call me G-Man a lot.
I do call you G-Man, but it's not from me.
I'm guessing it's Jamie. It has to be that. It has to be. Thank you so much. And I know you like big on shredding for the wedding. It's not going to help you, girl. But you deserve it. That's the thing after a
For
hard
the
week.
day after the wedding.
You deserve it. I might even just re-gift these guys. Someone very special. Thank you, sweetheart. That's lovely. What a beautiful message.
All right, I'm too excited, so let me see what we have here. And the box of chockies are dark chocolate selection, locally produced chocolates, 57%. I like it. Thank you very much. Thank you on my health as well. Appreciate that, guys. Let's see what we have here.
Antioxidants.
This is so cool. It feels like Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Surprise, Gerald. You are such an energy bunny, and I know you will just love this dark chocolate selection, including dark chocolate fudge, Madagascan vanilla heart, burnt sticky caramel, orange diamond, spiced hazelnut, praline, and raspberry caramel. Oh, my heart. I'm done.
I'm trading with you, but I'm trading with
Eat
you.
your heart out and enjoy the sweet treat. Hashtag guess who. I feel like this is someone that just wants to sabotage my fitness journey. Kukule, I feel like you know the way to my
Guilty
heart.
as
Isn't
charged.
you? Oh, you know me, girl. Thank you so much. I am definitely going to share this and enjoy it with you guys. And I truly appreciate the love, honestly.
Oh,
Make
thanks,
me feel
guys.
so special
Happy
on the show.
Valentine's Day.
Happy
We love it.
Okay.
We love the surprise. And here's a surprise for you. You stand a chance of winning a 500 Rand Woolworths gift card so you can spoil your loved one just by replying to the competition post on our Expresso Facebook or Twitter or Instagram pages. And you've got to share a message of appreciation for someone special who deserves a little surprise this Valentine's Day. And don't forget that hashtag guess who. The competition closes at 9 today. So feel the love. Get on it right now. But you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
If you heart them, show them. Surprise them with gifts from Woolies. Happy Valentine's Day.
We're continuing to boost our immune system and feel as healthy as we possibly can be. To be so is back in the kitchen right now with a beautiful and quite decadent breakfast bowl. I got my breakfast sorted right here.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover. Yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
All the feel good coming your way. Now let's talk about breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's a fact. So it's very important to make it a good one, right? You want to make sure you do that. And our Clover Classic Poached Pears with figs breakfast bowl will help to keep you on the right track. Trust me, take my word for it. And cancer survivor, or as I like to call her, cancer warrior and owner of Cooked Inc., Miriam Jakut Harris, is here to help us do just that, starting us off on the right note.
Yes.
Miriam, the pressure is on for you to school the country, educate the country, and show people just how important it is, yes, one,
Breakfast.
to get that healthy breakfast going.
To fuel us for the day.
To fuel us for the day. But I think for you, part of your recovery was really making sure that you looked after your diet and that you paid attention to what you're eating. And I'm guessing this is one of the type of breakfast you were having.
Fruit, high fiber, some calcium, protein, ticks all the boxes.
Okay, great. I'd love to hear that. So let's get going. What are you going to make?
Let's get started. So we are making first our poached pears.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to need, do you know how to peel a pear?
Yeah, you can do it. I think, you don't want it to go a bit disastrous. You might want to just use your
basic
experience.
thing, man. So we're going to be peeling our pears, right? If you want to be fancy, you can core your pear, right? I can't be too bothered with it, so I'll
so
leave it
you're
whole
really
as
just
is.
gooing, right?
Just gooing.
Fantastic.
Right, so that's going into our pot.
What's in the pot at the moment?
The pot is empty. So we're just going to put in some water.
All right.
You want enough water just to gently cover the pears.
Okay.
Right, because we're going to be poaching them in a sugar syrup.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. I understand you.
Okay, so all of that goes in. Our sugar goes in. Right, that goes in.
Do you want the water warm before you get your sugar in?
No, you can throw it in as is.
Great, I love that.
Okay, so we're going to bring this, our cinnamon sticks are going in. Cinnamon is really good for you, especially when you're having carbs and you're having fiber and things like that. The cinnamon helps slow down the digestion for you.
Okay.
Some vanilla syrup going in.
Well, the other thing that the cinnamon is good for is that when anyone walks into your house, through your door, at that time of the morning, and they smell the cinnamon, it's like, hello, welcome to Jakut Harris. You know?
So I'm going to turn that on to boil.
Okay, great.
Okay.
But I see you've got all sorts going on here. You've got some honey also in the mix here. You've got some, what is this? What is this?
That's some granola.
Granola, of course.
Some extra
and some
fiber.
figs as well. So I'm really seeing some of the most important things that we need to be consuming, which is fantastic.
And the nice thing about this, once this is cooked, you can keep it in the fridge also. Oh. As a snack, even on little salads and things like that, poached pear with some blue cheese.
Yes, and it can sit for a few days there. Well, listen, if you want to get involved with this recipe, while Miriam gets that going, you are most welcome to go onto our website. It's expressoshow.com. We've loaded the recipe as well as all the ingredients on there. And I see that Miriam is putting me to work now. You didn't have to say much. You just had to gesture. You do that. You do that. Okay, cool. So what's happening in the meantime?
So all I want you to do is quarter those.
Okay.
We're going to roast our figs so they get nice and syrupy and sweet.
Nice. I love figs.
We're going to drizzle it with some honey.
Oh, figs, man. And of course, preparing meals at home, I imagine, was such an important thing for you. So much more control as opposed to eating out and ordering in. Is that something you advise people to do?
And that's what I've been teaching people. So I do cooking workshops also.
Oh, yeah?
Where I teach people and I try to educate them about food.
Yes.
And just to show them how easy it is to eat better.
Yeah.
I'm just going to drizzle this with some honey.
What does it start with, though? Okay, so the honey's... I mean, look at that. That looks like... It's at the restaurant. I mean, it looks like I'm at like the fanciest hotel ready to go,
And this pandemic has never taught you yet that cooking at home is not that hard. And it's just nice. It's nice family time. It's a nice time to bond with everybody.
Yeah.
You know exactly what is going into your food.
That's it. You've got so much more control, but also it can be far more affordable. In fact, it is often far more affordable. You can feed the whole family. So that's going to go into the oven. Thank you very much.
180 degrees.
I will do that.
For 20 minutes, please.
All right. Who's going to keep the time? The oven, I suppose, will do that for us.
Thank you.
It's going. Great.
So our pears are poaching beautifully over here. We're going to turn this down to a gentle simmer. And we just want those pears to get all sticky in the syrup.
And this is what they look like when
This is what they look like when they're all done.
Next?
And now we're going to start plating.
I love this. Let's get that clover bliss in there. Now we're talking.
This is one of my favorites because it's double cream yogurt.
I love it. Well, listen, to get the ingredients, of course, and the recipe, go onto our website, expressoshow.com. The Clover Bliss double cream, which we're getting in there, is a source of 10 vitamins, which is fantastic. That's all you want to know for a great breakfast. Of course, comes in different flavors. You've got hazelnut.
Choc chips, my favorite.
Choc chips, your favorite.
That's in my fridge right now.
You and I are friends. It's done. It's so ready. Of course, you can use any of the delicious flavors of Bliss yogurt for this recipe. It's really up to what you want to be tasting, and you can pair it with different types of fruit. This is really great. So that's gone in there.
That's gone in.
Then, of course, our pear going in there. I'm going to help you get the fayas, which would have been in the oven, done. That's what they would look like afterwards.
You wait till they cool down.
They're so nice and like they're popping with color, right?
Oh, look at
this
you.
Looks like health.
You've done this before, eh?
No, not quite. But I mean, I'm under, your guidance. It's all pretty simple in that way.
And then just a little bit of granola.
And then you would get your
honey for a little bit more sweetness.
I'm gonna help you with. I'm gonna make this honey look fancy, do a bit of artwork.
You must get the high drizzle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this looks really, really good. I'm gonna taste it.
Go for it.
Okay, because that's the most important thing, to be able to taste it. But
get a bite of the pear, everything in there.
Okay, all at the same time. But listen, while I do this, I know that you're watching at home and you're thinking, oh, I want to taste that too. It's expressoshow.com. We're getting everything in there. And,
that's a big mouthful.
If you want to see how we got here, watch this. You're good. This is the one.
Lovely?
Oh, yes.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover. Yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. It is also Thursday, and you know what time it is?
Yeah, it's Klein Vrydag, of course, and a lot of magic coming up on the show later on. I'm chatting to Rian Munster about some kids heading off to Antarctica a little bit later, and you want to stick around for that. But let's find out what's happening on the latest in the news.
Let's start here in South Africa, where we mark, in fact, World Cancer Day, an important day to further raise awareness and inform and encourage people on the prevention and early detection and treatment of cancer, still one of the leading causes of death worldwide. The Cancer Association of South Africa earlier said on this day they wish to encourage people to set and achieve personal goals, enabling them to lower cancer risk and for cancer patients to optimize health, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Cancer says although the COVID-19 pandemic has been all-consuming, cancer control needs to remain a priority. Then America has revised its blanket travel ban on South Africa to allow H-2A visa holders entry. This non-immigrant certification for temporary workers performing agricultural services allows qualified South Africans to stay in the US for up to 10 months. Second only to Mexico, H-2A visa holders from South Africa are in highest demand. South Africans experienced in driving tractors, trucks and harvesters on farms are especially sought after. In fact, in 2019, some 275,000 workers from South Africa entered the US on the H-2A visa. Then on the international front, the World Bank has made available 318 billion rand in grants or highly concessional terms to African countries to support vaccination programs across the continent. The bank's president, David Malpass, made the announcement following a virtual meeting with African leaders on the continent's COVID-19 vaccine financing and deployment strategy. Noting that African states haven't been able to keep pace with developed nations' vaccine rollouts, Malpass urged African leaders to move quickly to secure vaccinations for their populations and to avail themselves of the financing available from the bank. Then America has extended the New START nuclear arms control treaty with Russia for 5 years. This as President Joe Biden and his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, reportedly discussed it by phone a week ago. The treaty had been set to lapse tomorrow as the Trump administration had refused to approve the extension. Announcing the move, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said it made the world safer. And now bringing it back home for some good news regarding the picture that shocked the nation. Hats off to the Owl Rescue Centre at Hartbeespoort in Northwest Province for speedily rescuing the Hardy-Dar spotted in Greenside, Johannesburg with an arrow in its body. Now, disturbing pictures of the injured bird, now known as Arrow, the Hardy-Dar, on social media upset many South Africans, understandably, who collectively voiced their outrage at the dastardly deed of harming wildlife in such a cruel manner. Fortunately, within a single day, the Owl Rescue Centre at Hartbeespoort, where on average some 1,000 owls are taken in annually to be cared for, had located the bird and organised a trap. Then just 4 days later, Arrow was cornered and immediately received the necessary veterinary attention. The centre will now render effective care before releasing him to continue singing the song of his people. Now, Hardy-Dars have notoriously been called South Africa's alarm clocks. Who's not aware of the loud 3 to 4 note call uttered in flight, especially early in the morning? And incidentally, the Hardy-Dar is a protected bird in South Africa, Africa, and anyone caught injuring or killing one faces a stiff fine. And that's where we leave our news for this morning. Let's take one last look at our sporting headlines. Well, in cricket, something to celebrate. Cricket South Africa yesterday congratulated the Proteas women for winning their T20 International Series against Pakistan at Kingsmead Stadium in Durban. South Africa won their series 2-1 after Pakistan did earn that consolation victory in the final T20 match yesterday. Pakistan's captain, Javera Khan, who missed the first 2 games due to a finger injury, smashing 56 from 50 deliveries to guide her team to an 8-run victory based on the Duckworth-Lewis method. Then on to local football. Reigning Nedbank Cup champions and PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns, they edged out Stellenbosch FC 3-2 in a thriller in extra time at Loftus Versfeld Stadium to book their spot in the last 16. Namibian international Peter Shalolile, he scored the winner in the 117th minute of the match. Now the results, Polokwane City beat Steenberg United 2-0 in Limpopo in that earlier match. So there'll be 2 Nedbank Cup fixtures today. It's Bizana Pondo Chiefs up against Cape Town All-Stars. That's at 3 p.m. and then TTM take on Supersport United at 5 p.m. Then a big shock in the English Premier League last night. A lone goal by Steven Alzate helping giant killers Brighton record a 1-0 win over defending champions Liverpool at Anfield. So that result leaves Liverpool now 7 points behind log leaders Manchester City, who went on to beat Burnley 2-0 at Turf Moor earlier in the fixture yesterday. Goals by Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling now confirming a 13th successive win for the table-topping citizens. Leicester City, they moved up to 3rd place on the standings after beating Fulham 2-0 at Craven Cottage. There'll be one Premier League fixture tonight, and it's derby time, a London derby between Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea. That one kicks off at 10 p.m. That's a wrap of your sport for this Thursday morning as well. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful skies.
Thank you so much, Dee, for the news and sports update. And thank you to all our viewers that have sent through their sunrise photos. We are rounding up the weather update by recapping the viewers that have shared their photos with us. We start off with Verity Barnes Herbert from Riebeek West. Dogozo Theo Makatini shared his photo from Johannesburg. Maureen Ansel Benetta shared the stunning photo from Yellow Sands on the East Coast. And definitely, lastly but not least, Gloria shared this bright image from Rustenburg. Thank you so much for your stunning sunrise pictures. Please continue to share them with us on our Expresso Facebook page, and we would love to show them live on the show. We now shift our focus to environmental news, with scientists detecting an increasing stronger link between the planet's warming and extreme weather patterns such as hotter heat waves, drier droughts, larger storm surges, greater snowfalls and more severe cold spells. The north of China is the latest country to be on the receiving end. As a result of the new severe cold snap being experienced in northeast China since Monday, sea ice has kept rising amid seawater freezing in the Liaodong Bay of the Bohai Sea. The frozen area exceeds 10,000 square kilometers, and with the edge of seawater freezing extending by as far as some 110 kilometers. To ensure the safety of small boats, they have been instructed to follow the large ships. Icebreakers will also be on hand 24 hours a day and help clear transport routes to ensure the movement of key livelihood supplies. We bring it back home with the last look at the temperatures for the rest of our beautiful country. If you find yourself at Polokwane, do expect some wet conditions this Thursday, as 40% chance of thunder showers is forecast. Bombela, it's going to be a rainy day in your part of the country as well, with a low of 22, reaching a high of 31. Pretoria, 19-25 with 54% chance of rain forecast. Jozi, Maboneng, Johannesburg, your temperatures range from 17, reaching a high of 21. Mahikeng, some thunder showers forecast at 41% chance of rain. Klerksdorp, it's also a rainy day in your part of the country, with temperatures ranging from 18, reaching a high of 24. Kimberley, 19-27. Bloemfontein, you kick off the morning with a low of 15, reaching a high of 24. Richards Bay, grey skies are forecast in your part of the country, with temperatures reaching a high of 32 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, it's a mostly sunny day with a maximum of 29 degrees. Durban follows suit with the same maximum at 29 degrees. Mthatha starts off the morning with a minimum of 18, reaching a maximum of 29 degrees. East London, it's a rainy day with 62% chance of rain forecast. Craddock, your temperatures range from 17, reaching a high of 34 degrees. Port Elizabeth, a partly cloudy day, 19, 25. George, your maximum for the day is 24 from a low of 15. And Cape Town, the mother city, your low is 18 and your high for this Thursday is 23 degrees. A sunny day out in Worcester with a maximum of 34 degrees. A sunny one in Sutherland as well with a low of 11, reaching a high of 29. And we rounded off with Uppington with the maximum across the entire country of 36 degrees. Now, this was your final look at your stunning sunrise pictures and the weather forecast. Remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, please make sure to tell yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Thank you so much, Kukle. And we're still chilling out here in the studio with our band, Ooth, of course, and they're about to perform something from their album, which is their 2021 album called Nothing's Gonna Change. Now, it's, of course, Jason bringing through all the chaos and all the fire, and you heard that first performance, and we're about to deliver the second one, which is called Loving You. So, from the band, Ooth themselves, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it away.
Absolute magic coming through there, Jason. guys are amazing, getting all the gear.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now let's focus on our beautiful blue planet for a second. Here's an interesting fact. The Atlantic Ocean is opening up and getting wider each year by almost 4 centimeters. Now, an international team of researchers recently made a new discovery about the Earth's internal mechanism, or inner workings, if you will, that is apparently contributing to the opening of the Atlantic Ocean. And the lead author of the project, Dr. Matthew Ajus, who's a seismologist at Roma Tre University in Italy, now joins us to tell us more. A very good morning, Doctor. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Great to be connecting with you. I don't know if I should be alarmed by this news or just hugely fascinated, which I am. I'm going to ask you straight off the bat to please first explain to us in the simplest terms possible how and why the Atlantic Ocean is getting wider.
Well, the Atlantic Ocean has been opening for more than 200 million years ago. And we've known this since 100 years. Of course, it was challenging to understand what is driving the opening of the Atlantic Ocean. Then after the Second World War, it was discovered that beneath the Atlantic Ocean, there's a major tectonic feature, which is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which essentially crosses all the way from the North Pole down to the South Pole. Then, during this time, a theory has been established, which is the theory of plate tectonics, which essentially describes our Earth. At the surface, there are these continental blocks, the plates like Africa, North America, South America, Australia, which are moving a few centimeters a year. Now, in some places, they are converging. It's where we have mountains forming, and usually there's also massive earthquakes. And there are places which are diverging, which are beneath, for example, the Atlantic Ocean. So beneath the Atlantic Ocean, we have this ridge, which is essentially a place where new crust is forming. And as they diverge away from each other, like South America diverging away from Africa, we get material rising to the surface, which forms the crust. Now, this process evolves over millions of years, but now we can establish even more better what is happening beneath the ocean.
Maybe I've watched too many Hollywood blockbuster movies, but immediately I am concerned. Should I be concerned about this?
I wouldn't say you should be any more concerned, let's say, than yesterday or any other day. These are natural processes. The plates are moving just like a few centimeters a year anyway. I think the highest places of concern are, for example, the Mediterranean. As Africa is moving towards the north, then you have the Mediterranean closing and you have strong earthquakes, let's say, in Greece. And then you get also seismic activity beneath the ridge in the middle of the ocean. So maybe a little bit of concern could be that the earthquakes or the activity beneath the Atlantic Ocean could maybe cause a tsunami, which then would have an impact, let's say, on South Africa. But I wouldn't raise any concern like more than what you had yesterday or until now.
So we're safe for now. We're safe for now. I love that. What new information does your research add to this? What have you discovered or identified through your work?
So the theory of plate tectonics also explains the driving mechanism why these plates are moving. And essentially, it uses the heat of the Earth, where we have hot material rising and cold material sinking. So when we have subduction zones, that means plates are converging towards each other. Usually get one plate which is sinking back down into the mantle. Now, this is pulling the plate away for the other place. It is diverging from the other plate. Now, what is new here is that we find evidence for the first time of material rising from the lower mantle all the way to the surface. Now, this is new because until now, we didn't have proper images of inside the earth from beneath the oceans. The reason being that there are no seismic instruments beneath the oceans. And this expedition involved in setting 39 instruments, we call them ocean bottom seismometers, and put them down on the ocean floor, which is very deep, about 6,000 meters below the sea. We left the instruments there for a year. We collected seismic data, and then we collected the instruments in 2017. We analyzed the data, and this is this discovery, or perhaps of finding evidence that material is rising from deep down from the lower mantle. So now we have a complete picture of the theory of plate tectonics. We know places where it subducts, and we can also identify the places where it is rising, which is beneath the mid-Atlantic ridge, and we can establish the depth from where it is rising. So this is exciting in a way that from a theory we come down to the evidence for it.
A moment of validation, which is fantastic. So where to from here with your research? What are the next steps in the study?
There are different places where this process happens. So we would like to verify that it doesn't just happen in the Atlantic Ocean, but what happens beneath the Pacific Ocean, for example. Is it the same process? So eventually scientists will need to go there and do a similar experiment, put instruments in the ocean floor, maybe across a larger area to get better images of the process taking place, and see if the same processes that happen beneath the Atlantic happen also in other places around the world.
Thank you so much. I love the fact that we are validating these theories with discoveries, and this just proves how dynamic this beautiful planet is that we are blessed to live on. Doctor, thank you so much for your time this morning. Congratulations on a very successful study. We look forward to hopefully connecting with you again in the future.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Matthew Ajus, a seismologist at the Roma Tre University all the way in Italy, who's co-authored a new study on what is contributing to the Atlantic Ocean getting wider, just by a little bit, but it matters a lot.
Oh, so fascinating when it comes to our incredible world, and we're sticking to it now. And we're talking about 5 matriculants who secured a trip to Antarctica through pioneering explorer, motivational speaker, and author Rian Mans's Matrix in Antarctica campaign. And they returned home with a wealth of knowledge on climate change. Now, the 5 lucky matriculants were chosen out of 3,000 entries, and one of those chosen matrics was climate change activist Ayaka Malitafa, and she's from Khayelitsha in the Western Cape. And this morning, Ayaka, Rian, and of course our Two Oceans Aquarium Education Foundation CEO, and our marine scientist and physiologist Marika Muson is also joining us to tell us more about their adventures and the experiments in the Antarctica. Guys, good morning. Firstly, I'm sitting here with absolute jealousy because I remember a few months ago chatting to you all, and you hadn't even chosen any participants yet, and now you're back. So, firstly, welcome back. Welcome home.
Cheers, man. It's like full circle. It's amazing. I think we feel the same way. We dreamed this thing, and and it was a reality and a huge success.
And I remember even just looking into your eyes before the trip, and you were just like kids with pure excitement. I was trying to see if I could get back into Matric to join you, but I see you brought Ayata along as well, which is incredible because, I mean, out of what it seems like 3,000 applicants and entries, she was one of the lucky few, of course. But what is it that stood out about her that you knew, like, I know she's got to be on the team?
Well, one thing I think that you'll learn about Ayaka, and I think the Marika will agree, is just that, her guts and determination, what we liked. For me personally, when we were doing the selection process, what Ayaka already was driving her own programs. She wasn't waiting for other people. I think being 18 years old, and especially in a time of like COVID and everything's just up chaos, in the air, Ayaka still has that laser vision. She knows what she wants, and she was super, super enthusiastic and put a lot of effort in her application. I think for us, it was almost a no-brainer.
And also, we were so excited, and it was even better than we thought. It was like mind-blowing. And what was really nice about all 5 of the students is we could learn from them. So I learned a lot from Ayaka. She's nice. A champ, yes. And we had loads of fun. So right attitude, most incredible continent ever. I want to be an ice person. Just amazing.
And the memories you guys made as a team as well. Just looking at you and how you're chatting to each other, it seems like so much has happened. But Ayaka, I got to ask you, from first-hand experience, coming from this world of chaos, going all the way to such a beautiful place, and everything that you did, talk me through it. How was the experience, the experiments, and everything else? What can you share with us?
was absolutely mind-blowing. I tell you, the pictures of Antarctica don't justify how magnificent and beautiful that place is. And like we had like expectations of Antarctica, we thought we were going to just see ice miles and miles and miles, but just seeing that diversity in Antarctica, seeing the different textures of snow, it was really mind-blowing, especially from someone that hasn't seen snow before. So definitely, even the experiments we conducted, the water sampling, the water testing, collecting some litter in Antarctica, it was really, really mind-blowing to see how beautiful that place was, and me being able to experience that with these amazing people was truly, truly inspiring.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm hearing you, I can hear the energy, I can hear that this was an experience. How many times have you told this story to your friends since you've gotten home? I can imagine.
A lot, definitely a lot. Like, how can I not share this experience?
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm even encouraging some of them to go and apply. It's really the most amazing experience that you can experience as a grade 12 learner, especially here in South Africa.
I love that, and I think that's exactly it. The fact that you went makes you the inspiration for others, and you sharing that story, encouraging them to go. And the one thing I love to encourage, and I think it's so awesome, is that each and every one of you is an activist for climate change. And Nature Boy at heart, I'm so close to this, and it's so important to me, but I've got to ask you that question, and maybe you can teach Mzansi at the same time. Why is this so important right now, especially?
So Antarctica as a continent is an amazing, it's almost like a giant laboratory. You know, it's unique, it's still protected, and we learn so much from climate by looking at what's happening there. And even through we did a litter cleanup. It's something that we do here all the time.
Is there litter in
There
Antarctica?
was actually,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's sad,
I mean, we
because it's
collected like over 900 pieces of litter. We even used the Beach Carp app. I think it's the first time ever that it's been used on the seventh continent.
Yeah.
So to create that awareness and say, you know what, we shouldn't just protect Antarctica, which is actually very well protected. We should protect the whole planet. And just seeing that infinity of ice was just so beautiful. And I just keep thinking like, you know, the whole world is beautiful. So let's do whatever we can. And it was such an inspiration. And having these students know, God, we've only been back for 2 days. You know?
Oh, wow.
So having all of us tell their story and inspiring people. And I really want to go back. I need to figure out how am I going to go back and how are we going to encourage people to just really appreciate nature in any way. Because I'm actually like a sun-loving, like more tropics kind of person. But now that ice, we swam in the ice water.
Really? A little Vim session. Nice.
Totally. It was incredible. So, yeah, climate change is real. And we saw it there. I mean, it was actually really warm. It was like midsummer, sun's out. We were cold, but for Antarctica it was warm. So we could feel global warming while there. We could see it. All the crew there we spoke to, they can see it because they obviously spend more time there. And that is frightening. You know, I always thought climate change, climate emergency takes a longer time. It's happening every day. So people need to be aware. But oh my word, it was just unbelievable.
Wow, I love that sentiment. I think Antarctica is basically like a working model, and now we can use it for the rest of the continents and keep implementing. So I've got to say, Rian, Matrix in Antarctica definitely seems like a success, man. But why is it so important to you? Why you keep going through with creating these opportunities for these kids? I mean, what does it really mean to you?
There is so much, there's way more pleasure in giving than there is in receiving. So to be able to give people the opportunity makes me feel great. And, you know, we don't need to be so politically correct where we realize that joy. So for me, selfishly, it's awesome to see the changes. I think in those matrics, it was 5 days, but I'm telling you now, their view, never mind their conversations over a dinner table being about Antarctica now, you know, their whole outlook, I think, for their future is so different. But, you know, it comes down to actually the relationships. You know, I met Vasily and Marella about 2 years ago, and they're the owners of ALCI that create this logistics and the gateway to Antarctica for Cape Town. Or else we wouldn't be a gateway city. And, you know, they're tough people. You know, they made sure that Matrix in Antarctica still happened, even though we were in this COVID time. But, yeah, it's just wonderful to see the students go and to see Ayaka come back and that smile, and she's going to do great things.
Oh, I can see it. I mean, five days of experience, but a lifetime worth of just absolute value. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to see you. Welcome back. 2 days fresh from Antarctica, and I can't wait to see more adventures. And I'm sure, Jan, you've got more incredible trips planned in the future, definitely?
The second year, so, it's a 5-year plan that we've got, and, we obviously need to just get the ball rolling again, but we'll be reaching out to the matrics in South Africa for 2021, and we see if they can follow in the footsteps of these 5 guys.
Oh, well, Marika, Ayaka, and Jan, of course, guys, well done, and thank you for being activists for our planet in such a time of need. It's so encouraging to see you guys using your energy and your life for something so much bigger and so much more important. And to the rest of Mzansi, of course, as well, thank you so much for joining us. And you can tune in again as Marika and Jan will be doing some more adventures. And you can even chat to Ayaka about some of her experiences too. But stick around as we join you after the break for some more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
This past Tuesday, astronomers around the world bid farewell to a mini-moon that had dropped into Earth's orbit back in September of 2020. What is a mini-moon, you may ask? I am certainly asking that question. Well, our resident science engagement astronomer from the observatory, Dr. Daniel Kahnemer, joins us to answer all of our questions. Dr. Dan, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks yourself. Thanks for having me.
Always great to connect with you because I'm like a kid in a candy store with this kind of space news. It's really cool stuff. This is quite a quirky story, and I'm really interested to know what a mini-moon actually is. Is it a space rock? Is it an asteroid? What is a mini-moon?
So this one's a pretty cool one. I like this one too, the quirk. So basically, a planet is something that goes around a star. In our case, the sun. A moon is something that goes around a planet. So this mini-moon, which we'll talk about a little bit more now, it was basically orbiting the sun, and then it came past Earth and did a nice little orbit around Earth, and now it's going to go back around the sun. So briefly, for a little while, it was orbiting the Earth and was a mini-moon of the Earth. Now it's essentially a planet again, but not really a planet.
But not really a planet. Shame, man. It's a misfit. No one knows where 2020 SO fits into the great galaxy out there. So how did 2020 SO make its way into Earth's orbits? What is its origins, and will it come back in? Will we ever see it as a mini-moon again?
Yeah, so at first, the astronomers didn't really know what this was. They suspected it was an asteroid. We detect these asteroids all the time. We're constantly monitoring the night sky for asteroids which are going to come close to the Earth. And then this was flagged as one. It's about 12 meters across, but it was moving very, very slowly for an asteroid. So 3,000 kilometers an hour, which is it seems fast, but it's very slow for an asteroid. They're normally moving at tens of kilometers a second. So astronomers already sort of realized that this was something else. And what they worked out by looking at it more and more detail was that it's actually a rocket body. So it's a second stage booster from a rocket that went up in 1966.
Oh, wow.
When they were launching a surveyor craft, a lander, to land on the moon. So before they launched humans to the moon, they were launching landers to try and investigate the sort of surface of the moon and things. So this is an old rocket body which escaped Earth's orbit, and since 1966 has been orbiting the sun roughly once a year, and occasionally coming past Earth. And in this case, kind of got grabbed by Earth's gravity and did a little loop around us before carrying on its way.
I love that. Now it's back on its merry way off into the universe. Do we get these kind of mini moons often?
Not often, but they do happen. We had a couple in the last decade or so. There was one in 2006, 2007, which did a loop around us, and then another one in 2018, which did a couple of loops around us. Those were both asteroids, so they were orbiting the sun and just space rocks, which came around the Earth once or twice and then moved on. They're briefly little moons around Earth, and then they carry on trundling through space. It's pretty cool.
I absolutely love it, man. So 2020 ESO made obviously that close approach to Earth this Tuesday. What's its trajectory after it leaves Earth's orbit? Does it go past any other planets? Is there a likelihood that it might get sucked into the gravity of a different one of our neighbors in the galaxy?
So it's in a pretty close to Earth's orbit because it sort of came off Earth. It didn't have a huge velocity. So it's moving very, very close to Earth's orbit. It's not moving that much faster than Earth. So it'll stay pretty much in Earth's orbit. There's a chance that in a few years or few decades' time, it'll cross our orbit again. If it does it close enough, it'll come in and impact with the Earth. But, we have these rocket bodies impacting, not regularly, but they do happen. And they'll mostly burn up in the atmosphere before they hit Earth. So it's nothing really to worry about. But who knows? It'll definitely stay roughly in Earth's orbit. It's not going to shoot out to Mars or anything or crash into the sun.
Maybe one of Elon Musk's satellites, perhaps. But I absolutely love that. I don't know why I suddenly feel this emotional attachment to 2020 ESO. But thank you so much, man. What a cool and, as I said, quirky story. We love it, man. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Godspeed to 2020 ESO as he makes his merry way back into orbiting around the sun. Big thank you to Dr. Daniel Kalma, as always, for our space updates.
Thank you so much, G. Well, we're keeping it in space as SpaceX, the aerospace company founded by the tech mogul and South African-born Elon Musk, wants to get you online anywhere in the world and with broadband-like speeds using Starlink, a next-generation fleet of internet-beaming satellites. It sounds like a mouthful and everywhere, but do not worry because Grant Hines is here to talk about what this new venture is all about and what it means for us.
Firstly, Elon Musk's voice, he hasn't really lost his South African accent.
Really?
It's still there. It's weird.
Man, proud, brother, proud.
It's weird.
It's so true, though.
Every time I hear him speak, I go like, this guy sounds weird.
No, I love it. So listen, man, what is Starlink?
So Starlink is this really exciting, as I have these indifferences. I don't know if I like Elon Musk or not, but anyway, but this is a very cool project. And he's not the only company to set this up, but Starlink's probably going to be the one to actually do it. It's a array of satellites that we're going to launch into space. Well, SpaceX is going to launch into space that are kind of like a network for you to access internet anywhere in the world. Because right now, internet infrastructure relies on us to have cell towers, which are only at like a certain range. 5G towers, which are actually a smaller range because they're a lower frequency bandwidth to 3G and 4G. And then fiber or ADSL, which is copper cables and then physical cables.
Yeah.
So if you're in the middle of nowhere, internet is kind of impossible. I know there are people watching this, especially in South Africa, that are just in the middle of nowhere going like, man, I really want fiber, I really want fast internet, and this is a great solution to the problem. So the difference is these satellites are lower in orbits to traditional satellites or normal satellites so that their latency is better. Your latency is the speed with which, if you send a message, like you ping an email, that email goes up to a server and then bounces to the location it's supposed to. That is the speed with which it's done. We need really fast, it's called your ping. We need really fast ping in order to do any high, really important things with the internet. So if you're playing video games or if you're doing remote operations, there are doctors and surgeons that do remote operations, ping is essential. And it's really essential when you're talking about like remote areas. So imagine a doctor, a neurosurgeon that's based in Joburg or anywhere in the world, like the best neurosurgeon in the world, can operate on somebody in the middle of nowhere if they've got the facilities to access the internet. So that's why this is so important. That's why Elon Musk is pushing this so hard.
Well, we'd imagine a safety element coming in here because it sounds like, especially places that I hike to and travel in the middle of nowhere, I don't have signal. So if something goes wrong,
I have no connection whatsoever. Is
Yeah.
this something that could potentially combat that, I would imagine?
It could. I'm not too quite sure what the infrastructure on the ground is going to look like. The infrastructure in the sky, obviously, is satellites. The difference between traditional satellites and the Starlink satellite is that it's using laser technology. And laser is the speed of light. So it'll then be able to hit the satellite with the laser and then track the satellite as it moves, because obviously the satellite's going to move in orbit. And then when the next satellite appears, it's going to hot swap to the next one, right? Right now, when you are driving, you know when you're driving and you've got your hands free on, Hope, and you've got a phone call on and it cuts out like in certain sections or quite regularly.
The time.
What's happening is that you're driving in a cell tower. There's only a certain amount of people that have access to that cell tower. It connects to it. You have a seat there, but you drive through to the next tower, and then your phone has to swap to the next tower. There might not be seats on the next tower, you know, like for your connection, or it might not be able to get that connection fast enough. So you're always like dropping. Hi, are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Can you hear
That's
me?
what's happening. Practically, there are literal towers that you have to hit. But now with these satellites, these lasers will just be light speed, just swapping between the two, just above you. So I can imagine that soon we'll have that technology in mobile devices where that is possible, and then you will be able to beam for help.
Awesome.
I mean, we take the internet for granted because we just expect for it to be there. We never really look into the infrastructure put in place to allow us to communicate across the world. But I'm sure, just like any other cell phone or internet provider, there are some disadvantages and advantages.
Yes.
When it comes to Starlink, what are some of the pros and cons that we need to look
I
out?
want to know line speed. How long? You know what I mean?
So
What's
like
line speed?
the line speed that I actually don't 100% know, but as far as what I've heard, it can go up to a terabyte, which is really fast. But the price is actually probably the biggest pro. Right now in beta, while they're busy working on it, it's about $100 a month to do that, which is extraordinarily cheap.
That's what
That's like 1.5.
Yeah, exactly, and like that's what most of us are paying for.
1.5.
He's like, it's extremely cheap.
grand in rands. So that might mean that like internet prices drop, and I know that there might be providers out there who are panicking about that, but it's good. I think data is one of the most important resources that we have to keep people connected and informed and give people opportunities for jobs and work. And if we don't make sure that data is cheaper, we're not going to be providing those opportunities. And as long as internet is expensive in any country, especially in our country where it's poor, we're going to have a huge barrier keeping before people can actually get work and get jobs. And we need to improve that. And solutions like this will really help. Sorry, I feel very strongly about that.
No,
stuff.
100%, and we agree with you. We do need access to the internet, particularly in underdeveloped countries within the African continent, because that's the one way we could be a part of the global community, the global village that is put together by the internet. So data prices must fall.
Yes!
And then one of the biggest cons about this, that everyone must be really excited. Great, this is great. But it's actually going to be visible. And it will look like stars. So you'll see these lines of satellites in the sky, and astronomers are particularly worried because it might block the view. So one of the things that Elon Musk and Starlink are doing right now at SpaceX is to try and work out ways to stop the reflections so they're not so visible, but it will come off as a trade-off.
Yeah. Wow, man, Grant Hines coming through with the business. Of course, we are going to be chatting some more tech later on in the show with Grant for one more, so stick around for that, where we bring you all the tech that is needed this year.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is still Tech Talk Thursday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And while we are still focusing on skills in this segment, let's check out these incredible drawing tablets and what makes them different from the rest. Grant Hines is still here with us to tell us exactly about these amazing tablets.
So I brought some cool toys.
I've got some really cool toys and I'm really excited about this. These kinds of products, drawing tablets and devices which you can handwrite on are becoming very popular because there's so many different use cases for them. So teachers are using them to teach students remotely. Business people are using them to do presentations. I have used some of these devices last year to do a presentation in the UK from South Africa.
Oh, really?
For students, learning students who want to get into creative industries. So, and there are a lot of different options. So a lot of people are probably watching this at home going, I don't know, I've heard about this stuff, should I get it? There are business people going, I don't know, should I invest in them? There's a whole bunch of different solutions to the problem and I want to get through them.
Okay. Rock and roll, man.
The first one is it's a very common one. It's a drawing pad like this, which comes with a pen. The downsides are that it sits on your desk and you draw on this device and it appears on the screen. Exactly.
I don't think my brain is capable of doing that.
You do get used to it, and these are the cheapest devices. They are the most accessible. If you're just signing documents or whatever, try get one of these. These are usually called like Intuos pads, and they're different sizes. They're usually about A5 in size.
Okay.
The big one is a Wacom One. This is like a big tablet that plugs into your computer over here. And I've been drawing in the backstage. This is Mike. This is one of the.
Did you draw this?
I drew this. Yeah, just while we were just
Are you like a closet graphic designer? Is this where you started? How did you?
I studied art direction. Actually, that's what I graduated in. So yes. So it's really nice. So you're able to I'm gonna just draw.
So that's Mike, right?
Yeah. This is Mike. Yes. I'm gonna draw
It's just like him. That's just ridiculous.
Draw a layer.
He's very angry there. What did you
captured the essence of Mike, man. You captured the essence of Mike.
I'm drawing white on white. So you can sketch on the pad like this. There are different pens and so on. And obviously it's just a really cool drawing experience because it mitigates the problem of what you're seeing.
What you're
you
doing,
look down.
Yeah, for sure.
And the pad is relatively transportable. It can click down and fold up. And the texture on the paper on the actual page actually feels like paper.
Oh wow.
You can feel so it has a more authentic drawing experience, but the downsides again, you need a computer. So it literally is a display and you need a computer in order to do it.
It's an extension of your PC or your laptop. Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
but you can, a lot of artists, this would be more for artists or professional illustrators or people that are doing drawing more professionally. Now I've also got the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus as well. This is another one.
That's the big daddy though, eh?
This is the big one of all of them.
Yeah, look at this
and I've drawn this shark. This is the first thing I actually taught myself how to draw, and I just showed Mike and the guys in the back there how it's done. But I can take the pen out the back. The pen fits at the back of the pad, and you can draw on the tablet directly because it's a touch screen, not like the Wacom One. You can then pinch to zoom,
wow,
so you can get in and get granular, and then draw and so on. And what I'm doing right now is I'm using Dex to push what I'm showing to the screen over here. So this is where presentations become cool. So when I was able to teach the kids and work with this technology and show children how, teach them, I'm able to use the mirror screen over here and and illustrate what I'm talking about, which is really cool. It's kind of like a blackboard. And then at the end of the presentation or the end of the talk or the end of the lesson, you can then export and send it to them, which is really cool.
I mean, just from never mind drawing great pictures, just from taking notes or drawing dynamic diagrams, mind maps, things like that, if you're kind of going through a guided discussion, those sorts of elements, I'm still can't believe that you can draw this well. I know, man. I'm sorry. I don't. No disrespect, man. Yeah.
No, it is really. I have a history in drawing this stuff, and I love drawing on technology. I think the amalgamation of analog technology and digital technology is really exciting. And all of these products fit somebody's interests. They all come from different developers and different use cases. And I just kind of wanted to do this because there are people at home that are in lockdown for the rest of the year. We're likely to do that. And this might be a solution to a problem that you are having at work that you can now contribute to the economy in a very creative way. And that's either through teaching or presentations or lectures or learning,
For sure.
taking notes. It's just such an exciting time to maybe gear up your home office.
Yeah, no, very much so. And I've got to ask, as an artist, did you struggle to transition from like into the digital space to draw? Does it feel just as easy now, or did it take you a while to kind of get comfortable?
It took me a little while because I was used to drawing on pencil and paper, but I really, once you get into digital, every single Copic marker or whatever that we used to use at varsity that would cost like 100 Rand for one color, all of it's available to you, like digitally.
And then some, and
it's just that your mind is just opened up. And there's such great digital software. There's Coral Painter, there's Painter for the tablet, there's Sketchbook Pro. All these softwares there's bound to be something for you. And again, like you said, there's even note-taking apps.
Yeah,
so there's just digital notebooks.
That really excites me from a training perspective and being able to operate remotely. Absolutely beautiful. Buddy, I think you could be like an illustrator for Tintin, dude.
For Tintin?
Yeah, man, you've got that vibe. I need you to release a comic book series. Grant Hines, thank you so much. You've got me excited about tablets and what we can do in the art sphere. In the digital era, absolutely.
And look at this, I can do light, I can light shade and then press it.
Sign it, put your name there.
There we go. Boom, sell it for $1 million. Sell it for $1 million.
Signed, sealed, and soon to be delivered. I want that, okay, Grant? From curating one talent to another, we've spent the entire morning with rock star Jason Oosthuizen. Now, we've always had a drum set here in studio, and some of us have dropped a beat or two, but this morning we are here to learn from the professionals themselves. How do we go about playing this instrument and getting a beat or rhythm going? So Jason is here right now to be teaching us a thing or two. Are you excited, Ryan?
I am. I'm ready. I've just sanitized. I'm
Yes,
about to get
please.
my beats on.
Get on that. Now, it seems like this week it's a very musical week for us. We've learned how to play marimbas, and now we're about to learn how to play drums.
Yeah.
Jason,
feed us, man.
we didn't know you play drums. Are you an actual drummer?
So I actually am a drummer, and the singing and the guitaring is like a fun hobby that kind of took off. Well, I don't know if it did take off. We'll see. But
Definitely taken off, okay?
Yeah. And but this is actually what I do.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so we are ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so
So
excited.
I'm just gonna give you guys like the quickest crash course to be like really famous in literally a minute.
Okay, cool.
From zero. We're literally coming
So
from zero.
If you want
right?
to join ACDC, I'll show you this. You phone them immediately.
I just
So,
tell them, hey, we're
Just
available.
be like, listen, Jason showed us the 1, 2, and then it's like done.
Done.
We
That's
got
it. Okay,
So
cool.
cool. It's gonna be your right hand, right leg will be 1,
Okay.
Okay.
and then your right hand, left hand will be 2.
Okay.
And you put it together. 1,
Oh,
1, 2, 1.
how's your coordinating skills?
You guys getting it?
And then how do you go faster?
Then you go. Okay,
You're so
now it's you
wrong,
guys.
Jason.
Well,
You
after
guys.
that, let me step up.
All right, 1, 2 it, 1, 2 it. Let's see, let's see.
Let me start from the beginning. So
Okay.
1 you said was the foot and this together.
right,
That,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
I'm gonna keep that down for
Okay,
you.
so it goes.
That's it.
And then?
2. That's it. That's it.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Thunderstruck.
The bass.
Done.
Faster, faster. Hey, go run, go run, go run, go run, go run, go run, go run.
There we go. Yeah.
I love that. That was awesome.
Come on,
okay?
Chen Rock Girl. Come
All
on,
right,
Chen.
all
My turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. Representing all my ladies out there.
I remember after that marimba session that you just set the bar way high, so I'm expecting like a guitar to come out of this or something.
Oh, please. Okay, so this is part of it, right? Okay, this is one here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's go. 1, 1, 1.
That's it.
My coordinating skills are so messed up. Okay, cool. 1,
Yeah.
That's
1,
it.
1,
Yeah.
1, 2.
Claire in the house.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh my God, this is so difficult and you make it look so easy. That's the problem.
I mean, I don't know what it is.
The talent itself. It's the talent.
Yeah.
But it's really cool, and I think it's quite humbling to see how hard it actually is.
Yeah.
And from that, we get to see how it all turns into magic when Jason and the rest of the band are going to put it all together after the break to send us home. So stick around for some more of Ooth. Yeah.
I can't.
Get a taste for adventure with Jonathan Boyton Lee as he learns the art of freediving.
Oh, what a feeling.
Take to the skies on a helicopter flip with hip-hop star Nasty C. And experience the sights and sounds of Swakopmund with Addis Gear radio personality Derek Gardner. Join us on the Insider SA this Saturday night at 8, only on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yeah, some great viewing to look forward to right here on SABC3 this coming weekend. The Insider with an unbelievable lineup. But right now, let's get back into the moment. Here to end off our Thursday show in rocking fashion. We love these guys. Ooth will be performing their headbanger. Prepare yourselves. It's called Get Up, the 7th track off their brand new album, Nothing's Gonna Change. I want you to get up out of bed if you aren't already. You can stay in your pajamas, it's fine. Put the coffee down because you're gonna rock out. It's time to get this Thursday up and running on the right note with an amazing band who have been so cool to host today, guys. Thank you so, so much. We love them. Here they are. It's Ooth. you, Jason. We love you. Oh, bona fide rock stars in the house. Thank you so much, boys. We absolutely love you. Take a bow. You are legends. Thank you, boys. What a way to round off our Thursday. We're back to do it all over again. Moon Chow is in the house. Tomorrow it's a Friday, baby. We'll see you then. Never forget, we love ya. Thanks, guys.
Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.